It's me. What's up? You're on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's
G'day,
good,
guys.
man?
How
Australian
are
friend,
you?
how are you?
Good,
Hey,
man.
Good evening.
Good,
Yep,
good.
yep,
I,
yep.
I don't know how much you caught of our chat so far, but what do you think of Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I did.
Scam, not a scam? What?
Look, I can understand the idea of wanting to do something special for your loved one, right? But I think I'd really sort of touch on it's like, I don't think it's like the once a year big thing. I think it's about consistently doing the small things that add more value than doing the one big thing once a year. I think doing the one big thing once a year, it's more of a social proof, right? It's more to demonstrate to everybody else about your relationship rather than to each other. Um, but then again, I'm a little bit strange like that. So, like, say, for example, with my birthday, I don't do celebrations. I don't want people to wish me a happy birthday. In fact, on my birthday, all I do is I call my mum and I say thank you very much. Say to my dad, but he's already passed. But I'd say thank you very much to my mum. You gave birth to me. You raised me. I'm very grateful. So I'm more of that kind of guy. So I don't know about other people, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
never celebrated my birthday either. I call my mom, let her know, that I'm okay, ask her if she's okay, thank her, and that's it.
yeah. And but I applying that crossing over to Valentine's Day. Um, I'm not into that. I don't. I just don't do that. It's just if you need that once a year in order to feel special, I think it's more they're sort of automatically comparing to people around them what they're receiving. So if they don't receive what everyone else receives at that time of the year, then they feel a little bit left out. However,
that
all the other days of the year, they don't feel left out. They're actually very satisfied. So that's where I sort of vision that it's more about social proof and sort of keeping up with the Joneses. And frankly, I don't play a rigged game. You can never win a rigged game, and I'm not interested.
Can I tell you guys a quick funny story? So last Valentine's Day,
and I have to
I went
chime
out.
in. I have to chime in to what is being said after because he hit the nail on the head. Please, Aziz, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. I was just gonna say last Valentine's Day, I was going out with this girl. Like like maybe like a couple of weeks, and I decided to invite her because I didn't have anyone else. And so we went out to this fancy dinner and all that in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, in Copacabana. And I brought her flowers and all that. There were fireworks, and she took a bunch of photos and all that. It was a good night. Nothing to brag home about, but it was an okay night. I went home, and then she uploaded all those photos to Instagram stories, but she had removed me as a viewer. You know when you can limit the person height story from certain person?
Correct.
Yeah. So she had hidden the stories from me, which was weird. But she didn't know that I was following because like I also have my work account and she follows that as well. So she had forgotten to remove that as well. And so I saw all the stories that she had uploaded. It was all flowers and the dinner, a shot of the food, steak and all that, and the fireworks and all that. Um, but my guess is that she just wanted to show it off to like her her friends and everyone, but she didn't want to like me to see it because she didn't want me to know that she like showing it off. But that's what she was doing. She was just showing it off to everyone
Not a
without
surprise,
me
really.
knowing.
Typical.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Typical.
once again, yeah, it's a social proof. It ends up instead of being about the actual couple, it ends up being about one person and their sort of glory trip for validation on the social media.
Exactly.
Track.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was for her. Holy
Yeah.
shit! I was just like the fucking loser that invited her and all that to
Yeah.
fulfill her fantasy and give her validation.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I see. I just don't look. For example, I'm seeing a woman, and you know what? Like, she goes to the gym pretty regularly, so she's a pretty hardcore gym goer. But so she's pretty healthy. But look, once a week, I will send her like a slice of her favorite cake and a cup of coffee to her work. Right now, people said, and the funny thing is, her work colleagues, the first thing they go, "Oh, I wish my partner or husband did that, automatically it's about comparison. It's like they don't even want the fucking cake or the coffee, right? Like the part, like it's just the fact that it's automatic validation. You're getting something that I don't have, and you're getting treated in a way, and that's what they automatically sort of fall back to. And I think it's sort of a little bit weird. And I know that she gets a bit of a boost from that. My intention was to send that was just because, hey, look, once a week you like to treat yourself to eat something, a little, a bit of a cheat meal, and, have a cup of coffee at work because you work pretty hard, and there you go. And that's what we both sort of agree, that's it. She doesn't put any pressure on me to do that. I do that because I want it. But I don't do any of the Valentine. I don't do any of that shit. I reckon the last time I did Valentine's Day was when I was in high school, and I'm 41. I just do not... Like, on Valentine's Day, I just go silent. I just go AWOL because it ain't my thing. It's just... No, I don't want to play into it.
Brian, what did you want to say? Yes, you said you had something to say about what
Yeah,
it's me said before. Brian, you might be in the washroom. Sorry, continue. It's me.
Yeah, Brian's in the washroom. Yeah, but I can understand if you're in a really like solid long-term relationship and this is you've got a good partner that's not about that. If you want to celebrate Valentine's Day together, man, why not?
I'm back. But what was the question from Mike ago?
No, you said you wanted to say something to what it's me was saying before, and we never got to it.
Well, they just said everything. Valentine's Day is basically for women. I mean, truly it is. What have you ever received on Valentine's Day? Maybe you have because you have a good woman, oh my God, but I have not received shit from a woman. They only expect you to give them something. And
go ahead, Brian. Finish your thought.
And they only, again, Aziz, and it's me. You're right. That is what they do. They want to say, oh, if I got this, I got that, I got taken to a fancy dinner. They will automatically take pictures to post it on their social media to brag to other women.
Exactly.
To brag, to say, I got this.
The only difference between Valentine's Day and every other day that we do is that we say Happy Valentine's Day to each other. But everything else is exactly the same as every other day. Because as I told you before, you love the person every day. It's not just that one day that has to be extra special or something. Every day should be just as special as the last day.
I will add one more thing to Brian. Brian said that Valentine's Day is for women. I will say Valentine's Day, even more than for women, it's for businesses. It's a marketing tactic to get more cash. So the businesses sit at the top of the food pyramid, and then women, and then the ultimate suckers are at the bottom, the men, the simps that basically do this.
And again, it all starts from when you're a kid, because schools from grade 1 and grade 2 tell you, make sure you bring a Valentine's Day card tomorrow and candy and everything else to give to another kid, or they're going to feel left out. It's all a business right from the beginning. You're brought up that way. You're brainwashed that way.
Yep.
What did you say?
I remember in 1991, when I was in first grade, my very first Valentines that I gave out were WWF Valentines, with the Macho Man, with Hulk Hogan, like saying, oh yeah, be my Valentine. Yeah, I remember that because I loved the WWF. I loved it.
Kai was asking, do you guys know what the pink tax is?
Oh my God, that's such a myth. That is a myth.
What is a pink tax?
If you guys want to explain it, if not, I'm going to take a Kai explain it because I don't really understand it. It's where they raise the price of something for women. It's a marketing strategy.
Like on tampons or like things that are pink colored that are directed towards women, right? So therefore,
anything that's intended for women. Yeah. It's a pink tax.
It's not real.
No, but they'll pay it. It's the same as Valentine's Day. Again, if the guy wants to impress a girl, there is no other way for him to do it if he's not going to spend triple the amount that day. There is no way he can do it. Valentine's Day, you will not find roses at the regular price. It's impossible.
I mean, the prices get jacked up a week before.
But why are they allowed to do that? Whereas even, okay, yeah, Christmas, we're talking about Christmas, how people spend all kinds of money, but they don't triple the price of, let's say, TVs and whatever else, right? So why is it that
Because
one
it's
day
supply and demand, though. It's supply and demand. There's more demand for it, and therefore they have the limited supply. Because they're not going to increase their, production capacity for just one day of the year. So they have the same capacity, yet
that's
the demand
bullshit.
is
That's
higher.
bullshit because the next day, again, you'll always find it at 90% off clearance sale. There's always going to be some left over. It's never like, oh, we ran out. Even Christmas, Boxing Day, it's almost as big as Christmas shopping. Black Friday, same
like I said,
shit.
it's also marketing, right? They know that you're pressured into buying it, and even if it's 10x the regular price, you'll pay for it because you're a sucker, and you don't want your missus to be angry at you. You want to get laid
You
tonight.
see, exactly. And this is why I remain single. This is why I spend my money on myself. I just bought so much shit from Amazon for me to build. I got this 4D building set. And you know what? If I had a woman here, my bitch ex-wife, she would not give a fuck about it because it was something that made me happy.
Wait, what'd you buy, Brian?
It is a 4D building set. I like to build things with my hands.
But 4D building, but what kind of things are you building?
It's a Star Wars set. I'm a Star Wars fan.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
not into
I
Star
built.
Wars,
It's R2D2 and C3PO, and then the ATSD. And the thing is like almost 20 inches tall. And I'll build it, I'll display it, and that will make me happy. But if I did that in front of my bitch ex-wife, she would like just roll her eyes and walk away because something that brings me happiness did not bring her happiness. Because
she would probably label you as a child, as a kid, not man enough, and all that bullshit that women do. You're not alpha enough for her, and all that shit.
Exactly. That's what they do.
Yeah, but why would you put up with that? Fuck it.
Wait.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying, Brian, why would you put up with it, man? Just say fuck it. You like what you like. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
She likes what she likes. Do you ever tell her, or you're a fucking bitch, don't do this or don't do that, don't have an interest in something? You would.
I never have.
That's what I'm saying. So why is it the other way around? It's okay for them to talk.
Because that's how women are. A lot of women are like that.
They are like that because if they are not happy and something makes a male happy and it does not, this has been proven time and time again. If something brings joy to a man that she has not brought that, she will demean him, she will degrade him, she will, because most women, not all, but most, are miserable. And they cannot see somebody else having fun or joy or liking something that they did not bring that person. They can't stand it. If they're not happy, you can't be happy.
So what do all these women do on NFL Sundays? When the guy just wants to watch football all day?
I think it comes down to something else. You see, the thing is, when you devote time and money into something else, they see that as you're taking away time and resources away from them.
Right? Exactly.
So the thing is, and that's where they sort of try to discourage it through shame through
Pebble,
belittling.
Pebble, if it's not like
Because
that, come on up. Come on up. Let's get a female's point of view because we have all guys on here. Tell us why it's not true.
Here we go.
Tell us why it's not
Yeah.
true. Yeah, she declined, of course. Yeah.
She declined.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
Nancy.
they know that what we are speaking is the truth.
Oh, you're cooking.
I mean,
Okay,
I-
after you
I-
cook,
I-
come
I-
up after you're done
nosotros.
cooking.
I wouldn't say, like, as I said, it's not all, but I would simply say, like, there is enough to establish like a pattern recognition here thing. So maybe it's like 20%, maybe it's 40%, maybe it's 50%. I don't know, but there's enough where there's an established pattern recognition here, and it's just like there are great women out there that go, okay, listen. If my guy's got a hobby and he's really into it, at least he's got a passion, and they appreciate a man with passion, right? So that's good. But I mean, definitely, I see this with my friends and their relationships. I mean, if they have things that are not sort of directly contributing to their own well-being, it's just straight up like, yeah, fuck it, no, don't do that.
Pebble,
right? And it's just
Pebble,
sort of,
you've probably been married 10 to 20 years. I can guarantee you that if your boyfriend at the time was going out with you for a week to 2 weeks and he didn't buy you anything for Valentine's Day, I don't think you'd want him very happy. I think you would want him to make you happy by having to have him spend 3 times the amount that he's supposed to spend. Yeah, 20 years. Exactly. I rest my case.
Yes, absolutely. And let me give you an example. Babakaga, I've told you many times, I do art on my tablet. I draw, whatever I do on my tablet. And I do my artwork. What is this, 2026? 7 years ago, when I met my ex-wife, I showed her, and I was so happy for showing her this. And she rolled her eyes and did not give a fuck. She could not share in my joy because she did not bring that joy to me. She got jealous because she was not providing the happiness for me. And it didn't make her happy, so she didn't give a fuck. And I called her out. I was like, well, you don't like this. And she's like, well, no, I guess I like it.
But was that the first time she was being a bitch to you, or was it before that? Because I don't understand how you would want to be with somebody like that.
I was seduced by the red hair.
Okay. So you were thinking with the head down below instead of the one up top.
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
Exactly. But however, now I'm single because I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. If somebody doesn't like something that I like, then fuck off. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I'll say that, women, not all women are like that. I've been with women that have been appreciative of my passion and my hobbies, but all women to some extent harbor that tendency to dislike whatever makes a man happy if it's not her. Some might do it more than others.
Exactly.
And some might do it less than others, but they all do to some extent.
You got it. You got to say 99%, man. You can't say 100.
It's not all.
Because everything we're talking about, there's not one time I can say, yeah, I agree, because my woman does it that way. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I would put it at 99% of the women. I would not say 100%.
No,
because there are exceptions to the rule. Exactly. Again, Mabakaya Kai is the exception to the rule. So there are always needles in the haystack, so to say.
Yeah.
And you found the needle.
Look, if you found it and it works, and that's great. Look, I mean, at the same time, I'd definitely say that, look, there's certain patterns of behavior that are related to men. So I'm willing to accept both sides. I don't give a shit. It's like, I know what it is. So all I'm saying, I mean, the whole thing is what we're talking about. The way that I totally sort of package it up in my mind is it's about diverting time and resources. Because if your resources and time and attention are not devoted to them, or your single source of happiness is not them, if your single source of happiness is not the woman and you get it somewhere else, it's actually, they consider a bit of a threat, a bit of a danger. because it's a lack of control then, right? And so I don't accept that. A lot of guys.
Exactly correct. It's a lack of control.
Yeah.
Modern women want to control everything around them.
Why?
They want to control what their man feels, what their man does.
Why is it back in the 50s and 60s? I could understand because, the woman was always at home or whatever, cooking and cleaning. So the man did, bring the bread home, buy everything.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it now, especially in this day and age, where we're still like the man has to do everything to impress the woman? Shouldn't it work both ways? The woman should also try to impress the man. Why is it always one-sided? Why is it when we go out, well, the majority of men have to pay for everything, including dinner? Or why doesn't the woman once in a while say, hey, you know what? I got this. You're together. What difference does it fucking make who's paying? Why is it always the man that seems to like he has to pay for everything? She's got money now. They work now.
It's even worse in Latin America. They expect the man to basically get on his knees and basically court a woman around.
Yeah, but why?
It's
They
absurd.
work there too, right? In Latin America, it's not like
Yeah,
they're housewives.
absolutely they do. They've got income, of course.
So why is
but
it?
they
why
won't
is it
spend
like
a
this?
penny. I would say it's because they've got an average woman has got so much competition. Has got so many men fighting over her that she has higher expectations than she normally would have in the 50s or 60s.
Exactly. Because
social media. That's social media for you, right? Like
it's social media.
It's screwed up the market big time. As before, like in the 50s and 60s, you were sort of restricted to people you met at work, people introduced to your friends network, maybe at church, a hobby place within your immediate vicinity. That sort of evened things out because it was basically a half-half population. Now, like with the internet, it's completely and utterly different. And how men look at pornography is, I believe, how women see themselves on social media through validations, likes, and clicks. It's they're addicted to that, or they have a tendency to be more heavily geared towards that than a man, like as a man, to look at pornography. It's I see it as the same thing.
Have you ever gone through? Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, have you ever just take an average looking girl? You don't even have to look at the phone of a good looking girl, just an average looking girl, and swipe through. Ask her, can I borrow your phone for a second, and swipe through your Instagram? Of course she's gonna say no. But if she ever did let you, an average looking girl, 5, 6 out of 10, you'll see how many simps are simping for her. Yes, and it's absurd. Correct. Your jaw will drop and you won't believe it. And that's just an average girl. So
if you look go on YouTube and you look up the thing called a Tinder experiment, I've seen what they do is they create a man and a woman profile, right? They will get women, they'll do, like, for example, a woman that's clearly incredibly obese and ugly, or they'll create a woman's profile where they don't even have a picture of her. They literally just take a picture of the floor, right? And even with that, compared to a relatively decent-looking guy, way more likes, messages. It's just insane. So it's natural.
Yeah, I've seen the one where they got like a Brad Pitt looking, like a model looking guy. He creates a Tinder profile, and then he literally starts off his opening line is "anal tonight," and she's like, and the girl goes, "Whoa, you're into kinky stuff. I love it. Let's do it." But then they take like an average looking guy, and then the girl goes, "You fucking creep," and she just reports him. Yeah.
Well, I've seen another one where they get I've seen another one where they get an absolute Chad guy, like absolute, specimen, and he opens up and starts saying, "Yeah, I've been arrested for like sexual harassment."
Oh, that's the one I saw too. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. Yes.
They're right into it, and he just goes,
"Oh." Yeah, she goes. Yeah, well, everyone makes a mistake once in a while. I'll forgive you. Yeah, you deserve a chance.
I have been arrested for domestic battery, and he will put that on his profile, and you will get it. If he looks like a fucking Chad, you will get it.
No, the guy
hundreds
literally
of
put, "I'm a
likes.
pedophile. I was arrested
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
raping
Yeah.
a 12-year-old girl, but she was 13 almost, by the way. But they said that she was 12. Not that it makes a difference. And then
Yeah.
the women are like, "Oh, everyone makes a mistake once in a while."
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'd like to go through some of the comments here. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
say
I
for
was gonna
example,
say too about Pebble, right? Yeah, her comments are ridiculous.
well, the Pebble and Nancy, she goes, women were not given birth to be a servant of men. I consider that we are, in a sense, equal, or we have both the same amount of rights. That's yeah. At the same
That's a
time, men. Yeah, I think. I don't think it's that we see women as a servitude, right? Like, where, if anything, it's meant to be like it's considered the other way around, where men are considered to provide and to protect. I mean, the thing is, we're still, even in this modern world, we're still held to by traditional standards. Yet, a woman, by modern woman, they're not meant to do that, right? They're allowed to do their own thing, but they have the you could be a modern woman but still want a traditional man. And then Pebble goes, paying let a man feel kind of a hero and strong.
Yeah,
But
right.
no one would give a shit. Like, a man would like it if a woman says, you know what, I'll pick up the tab. Like, like I don't understand how that makes me feel like a hero or
I don't
strong
know.
because I threw out a few bucks.
But
Like,
hold
that
on.
doesn't.
I know that
If anything, it.
modern.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Now go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if anything, that's dehumanizing a little bit, like me being seen as an ATM machine.
That is what they look at you as. Not all, but most.
Yeah.
That is exactly correct. You are an ATM. And the whole problem with modern women is that they have been spoiled by their daddies, and they are only looking for another man once they have separated from their daddies to provide for them.
You're
Men
both.
and women are not equal.
These guys are both wrong, Nancy. Nowadays things have changed. No, they have not. Since last year, up until last year on Valentine's Day, I have never seen a woman walk into a flower shop, buy roses for the man, and hand them to the man and say Happy Valentine's Day. It's the other way around, and it's always been the other way around. And Pebble, if they don't pay, they feel useless. Are you kidding me? So if you don't pay,
Well, you're saying
if you don't pay sometimes, then what do you feel like? You're okay with that?
Like you're tying a man's worth to his ability to pay. How
his wallet.
dehumanizing.
Well, I mean, but
That's exactly what they do.
But that's exactly because it's saying, hey, if he doesn't pay, there's nothing else he can provide. Then
Exactly.
he's nothing else but his wallet.
Exactly.
Check it out. Check it out. You see this? Listen to this. This is what I'm telling you about why it's not 100% of women.
No,
Here.
I was thinking, right? But,
Let's see. It's not. Hold up, Kai and Mavakaga. It's not 100% of women.
Yeah.
It's not all women. But it's
I know,
most.
it's like we're not
But you are the
generalizing, but I'm
exception.
just saying, like, it's like, why is it so easy when it comes to feminism? Like, women want all the rights and all the freedom, but when it comes to relationship, it has to be equal too. If you are always on the dependent side, what will make people feel? You're always going to be a disadvantage. If you pay, I'm saying from a very practical perspective. If you're a woman, you are in a relationship, you pay sometimes, you give out gifts sometimes. That makes you feel better too, right? Not like you are the one that's like depending on the man all the time. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand.
It's supposed to be a two-way street. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just saying like there's so
Exactly.
feminism. Why in this case women have to be all soft?
But that's what we're saying. And these two at the bottom, Nancy and Pebble, seem to think otherwise as usual. That's why I said 99%.
Of course.
But if she said it like this, so if for the women that always receiving gift never paid, don't they feel useless then?
100 women, you survey 100 women, 99 of them will talk the way these two are talking down at the
No, I
bottom.
mean I don't deny that. when
Yeah,
a woman
that's
gets a
right.
gift, she feels
That's
good.
right.
Feminism is a luxury. It's only a luxury in a modern established society. Feminism does not exist when shit hits the fan or in places where it's not as developed because it just doesn't work like that. It's just, everyone reverts back to their
I really wish
Okay,
Pebble would
hold
come
on.
on stage. I really wish she would come on stage because she's typing so much crap down there. I would love to rebuttal you, man. Come on up whenever you have time after you're done cooking.
However, I love Nancy. I've talked to her many times, but she's just said, I gave my husband chance to feel manly.
You don't give him the chance. It's not something for you to give.
That is
No,
not
that's
something.
Pebble. That wasn't Nancy. That was Pebble.
Oh, that was Pebble.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I see so many damn messages.
That's okay. That's why I said I wish she comes up.
Yeah, Pebble. I gave my husband a chance to feel manly.
That's ridiculous.
How do women know?
I gave you
Like, I can tell you,
by paying
you
for
know, you
dinner.
should wear makeup.
That's manly.
You should get a boob job. You should, you know, wear makeup.
I guess he thinks he feels like a pussy if he doesn't pay for dinner. I don't know. I don't know what's manly about paying for dinner. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
But hold up. Okay, what I'm saying, and I hear Kai and Mavakuya. But the whole point is that women have no idea how to be manly. They don't. They only have they only have a delusion in their heads of how men should be.
He just told you,
they want to
Pebble.
be taken care of.
He just told you. I don't understand how you give your husband a chance to feel manly. So you're telling me if he doesn't pay for your dinner, he feels what, gay? What are you saying? Feel manly.
See, that's the delusion
That's
that
so
not all,
brainwashed,
but most women are delusional. I'm not saying that all women are delusional, but most are.
Once you tie, a monetary value to masculinity, that's where things go downhill.
I did ask my wife. She just told you. She was on the phone. Did you not hear her? Okay, she wants me to ask you. You know what? You can give the answer, and you can listen, Pebble. You ask your wife about if she gives her man, she gave her husband a chance to feel manly if he pays for dinner. What do you think about that? Does the man have to pay for dinner and does it make him feel manly? Since I'm the
No,
man.
I don't think so. You know what? I think in order like for a man to be a man, it should be like daily life stuff, taking responsibility of stuff. It's not like paying dinner for like Valentine's Day or something like that.
Okay, you understand?
Yeah,
Sometimes
well-
I pay too. Yeah, what do you pay for? The noodles. What?
Who pays the bills? Who pays the bills? Like, who handles the finances in your relationship?
Mostly me, but even like her phone bill, she doesn't even ask me for a penny. She pays her own phone bill. But if she needs help, I would give it to her, of course. But
Exactly.
it's not like, oh, you know what? You have to pay my phone bill this month or something. No.
Exactly.
If you do it, you do it out of love and consideration.
But we don't even
Right?
think about it. Just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just do it because that's what you just do whatever it takes to keep the two of you together and
That's
living
it.
happily. Who gives a shit? Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you know what? Oh, I don't have the money for dinner tonight, so we're not going. Well, she'll do it. I mean, we don't even think about it. When the bill comes, it's like whoever does it, just pay it. That's it. We're together. So it's really our money.
Yeah.
It's not mine or hers, right? It's ours.
Yeah. It's like when I go to dinner with my male friends. If I want to pay, that doesn't make me feel manly. I'm not doing it to feel manly to pay. It's because it's like, bro, I love you. I haven't seen you in ages. Or it's great to catch up with you, man. You know, I'll just take care of it. It doesn't matter. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking about fucking trying to feel manly.
Yeah, or better than them or something like that.
So Pebble,
Yeah,
if you buy a house, you share, so you pay as well. So, but doesn't that make him less of a man if he doesn't buy the house for you?
I think maybe she doesn't.
You're contradicting yourself now.
It's just.
Nancy.
Oh, now Brian, you could comment on that one. Nancy, what she just said.
Yes, I can. Nancy just said women nowadays are independent nowadays. We can live with or without a man. It's our choice. No, that is not true. They either live with their mother or are divorced from their husbands and take half his money. Women are not independent here in the United States.
They're married to the state.
They're married to the state, exactly correct. And I was divorced because my ex-wife had 2 kids by 2 different fathers out of wedlock. And she got government assistance. She got welfare, she got food stamps, she got everything. But when she married me, that all went away. And
Wait,
it was less than a year she divorced me.
Wait, Brian,
She
you married a
divorced me.
woman that had 2 kids from 2 different dads, and you
Yeah,
married her
and that,
afterwards? What were you thinking?
yes, I do not know. I do not know. And that was my mistake. That was my mistake. Now I still do, do the deed with her, but Aziz, I agree. I was not thinking in my right mind at the time, and that was my mistake.
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking, when you married her?
That was 2019, 6 years ago. So I was 30. How old am I now? 41.
35.
Yeah, 35 years old. And I should have known better back then, but I did not.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I made the mistake. However, she did not take me for. I don't pay her alimony. I don't pay her kids' child support. However, if I can really kind of give some advice. Do not ever marry a woman that has kids by another man.
Of course not.
Don't ever do it.
If the women
Don't ever do it.
if the women pay all of expenses of the family, they both like that way. It's also a good marriage. Pebble, you're contradicting everything you said 10 minutes ago.
Me?
No, Pebble.
No. Yeah, I would.
Hold up. Am I contradicting?
Pebble,
no,
Pebble is down at the bottom. I'm talking about the bottom.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. And Nancy, you're talking about being without anybody. You're not talking about when you're with a man, right?
Yeah, marrying a woman that has had kids with another man is like showing up to a party when everyone's gone and cleaning up the dishes and the mess.
I mean, look. So for example, I'm seeing a woman, and I have for a while. She's got two. She's got twins from a previous marriage. But the thing is, I don't see her kids. I'm not involved. I just see her, and she's not expecting anything like that. And we keep a relationship at a particular level, and that's it. Because if I was to get involved, the thing is, there's 2 parts. One, if I do get involved, then I'm meant to be responsible for these children. Yet I don't have authority over these children because they're not mine.
Yep.
She could simply say, she could simply say they're not your kids. Don't tell them what to do. But then again, you would be responsible for them. I'm like, I don't. That makes no sense to me. Like, if you have authority without responsibility, that's tyranny. If you have responsibility without authority, that's slavery. I'm not involved in that.
Yeah, getting it on with a single mom, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, as long as you're hitting it and taking off. Just don't stick around long enough for you to get a responsibility without authority.
I've been seeing her for a while, and I understand. Look, she works very, very hard. She works a pretty high-end corporate job, and she also needs a good connection, not just physical, but she likes to be with someone where she can talk and relax and be herself. And I understand that, and I work a pretty busy job, so like I would also like that, but I don't want to have children or get married, so it's a decent fit. But generally, like I know people that are in a relationship from kids from a different marriage, and it's just like I couldn't do that just out of not out of principle, but just even also a practical factor.
My experience with single moms is that you're not a priority in their life, and when I'm dating someone, I like to be up there. They never have time, or if they have time, then they're taking their kids out to the football practice or soccer practice, or she's so anything comes up, something comes up, and you're always the lowest priority in her life, and and that's my experience with single moms. I just don't go out with them. It's just not worth it. Or if it's just like the 3rd or 4th option, that you've got, then yeah, I'll just hit her up and see if I can score some tonight with her. But she's not in my party really, so.
Dude, Aziz, I could not agree with you more, brother. I made that mistake. She did not put me on her list of priorities. Her
Yeah,
kids always came first.
she
Always.
sees you as a
Which
sucker.
they should. I agree.
Yeah,
However,
absolutely.
you should never, ever get involved with a single mom. And it's me. Don't ever let her sucker in. Hold on, I can't even speak now. Oh my God, what the fuck am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying.
No,
Don't
I know
ever
what you're
let
trying
her
to.
sucker you into taking care of
No, look,
her
I've been with her
sperm
for
donor's kids.
No, look, dude, she's my age, and dude, she's just like 2 kids already. Fuck that. I'm not doing any more. I don't want any of that more. And I mean, then again, that's what she says. But I think even realistically, like, she knows that in order for the kids to happen, she's got to hire a maid, like a full-time sort of maid to take care of the household. She's got her parents living with her. Like, there's all kinds of other support mechanisms that are.
Dude, I can tell you right now, that person is a walking disaster, and you will only feel hurt. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like I just choose to, like, look, we have the relationship at a certain level, and that's it. We just keep it as is, and it's been going like that for a long time. So, I just keep it like that, and that's it. Easy
Okay.
peasy.
Yeah, you're in Australia though. It's
No,
me,
no,
but
he's in
I would say
China.
that.
He's in China.
Oh, so you're dating like a Chinese mom?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no idea what the culture there is about this stuff and dating a Chinese woman. So yeah, I can't really say anything about that.
Okay, let me see if,
But I would say,
Pebble's on stage. I want to see if she is able to talk. Pebble, are you able to say something, or are you still cooking? Yeah, because Nancy's supporting you. You got at least one supporter on your team, if that. Cooking. Yeah. Okay.
okay, well, so I'll just say that, at least in contrast with Latin America, once you go out with a single mom, you're not just going out with that woman, you're going out with her children and the baby daddy as well, and the baby daddy's children as well from the other side. You're going out with the entire family, and it's such a burden, and it's too much of a responsibility, and too many people involved. But again, if in China it's different, or your girl is different, then I'm happy for you, dude. That's great that you can set that boundary and she respects that, and it doesn't matter if she has kids. You're just seeing her.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I've made that very clear since day one, and I've been seeing her for, I don't know, over a year now or something. But it's just it's relationships kept at a certain level, and I think also, as I think Nancy was saying, women, they're independent, whatever. So yeah, sure. I suppose she works very hard, but she still needs the assistance of a maid and her parents there. But that's that set up there, and no way in hell would I ever want to get involved in raising someone else's children. Look, don't get me wrong, on a principle level, because you care about someone, you want to help make their life easier. But it's not that. It's like it's just not practical from my point of view. And frankly, I wouldn't do that just because, as I said beforehand, responsibility without authority. There's no way I could ever walk in and say, all right, I don't like how this is going on, but can't raise the kids like this. No, you wouldn't have the right, because they're her kids. It's like, well, okay, if they're her kids, then fuck, I don't want to finance or take care of this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Nancy's saying our culture is like that. Yeah, Nancy, you're from Argentina, so that's the Latin culture. I agree.
Where are you right now? Are you still in Brazil?
No, I'm in Medellin right now. I'm in Colombia.
Oh, you're in Colombia, but still down there, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Latin America. Yeah.
But you coming back to Canada, or are you staying down there, or what?
Yeah, I'm coming back in a month. I'll be skiing in Banff. I'll be snowboarding in Banff. So
Oh, nice.
Banff.
I'll be there for 2
Oh
months.
my
Yeah.
god,
Banff.
I want to go to Banff so
Yeah.
badly.
I got the spring pass, and so I'll have 2 months of unfettered snowboarding and skiing.
But then, are you going back to South America, or are you come staying in Canada?
Nah, I'm flying over to Europe for the summer, and then I'll go back to Brazil in August.
Where in Europe are you going?
I'm going to Greece and Italy and Turkey.
Cool, man. Have
I'll
a
be
good
there.
time, bro.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in Eastern Europe.
Nice, very nice. Nancy, yeah, he's been there for a while. How long you been?
Yeah.
How long you been there now?
In Latin America, I
Yeah.
probably have like 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I spent about a year, Nancy, in Argentina as well, near Bariloche and Buenos Aires. I actually dated a girl there.
Well, okay. All right.
What?
Motherfucker, can I give an example
Of course.
of
Whatever.
exactly what it's me and Aziz were talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to harp on anything. I'm just trying to give an example. And, you know, the pace has changed, and that's cool. But I want to give an example of what I faced. And I'm not saying I'm the victim, only they do. So, maybe about in 2020.
Can you just try to speak a little bit louder, because my volume's full blast and I have a hard time hearing you.
You can't hear me?
No, I can, but it's kind of low. It's a little bit low.
Hold up 1 second.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but I hear Brian a little bit lower than you guys.
All right. Is this better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So here's an example of exactly what it's me and Aziz said. So again, I was married to my ex-wife, and she was talking to her son, and her son talked back and said, you know, was arguing with her and saying, you know, whatever they do. And I spoke up and I said, do not argue with your mother. And he got very cowardly because he heard a man's voice, because he didn't have her father, and he put his head down. And she scolded me. She said, don't talk to him that way. You can't talk to him that way. She scolded me for trying to protect her. See, this is why. This is how backward it is. This is how backward. She yelled at me for correcting her son, a male, for talking back to her. That's just unbelievable to me.
So why do you think she did it?
Because she wanted to have the upper hand in the relationship, which she never did. Never did. Except for when she divorced me, but she didn't get a fucking shit out of the divorce. She didn't get a fucking thing.
But doesn't she get 50% or something?
No. Oh, hell no.
What,
Nope.
prenup?
She gets nothing. What?
Did you sign a prenup? She signed a prenup, or you signed a prenup, or whatever?
Oh, no. I convinced her. Nope. I just convinced her that, yeah, you can go back to your welfare and you can go back to your food stamps.
Yeah, but how do you convince her? If she goes to court, you lose, man. How do you convince?
Well, no, I guess I shouldn't say I didn't convince her. I just convinced her that she relies on the state to pay her way. And she just kind of wrapped her head around that.
Well, lesson learned, right? You learned from that.
Oh, of course. That's why I'm single. That's why, you know, I talk to women, and, you know, I may go out and take them for a drink or whatever, but they're always looking for the next best thing.
Well, Nancy's replying to you, Brian. I think to your story there. I don't know how you were supposed to get a previous communication when things like that just happen spur of the moment, but that's on you, man. You could reply to it. She's asking you.
Well, no, motherfucker, of course, I agree. Men think logically, women think with their emotions, and that is 100% true.
No, but Nancy said previous communication about those kind of situations would have been healthy. But how are you supposed to know that kind of situation is going to come up to begin with?
Exactly correct.
Yeah,
but
I would
Nancy
say,
just said,
yeah, I would say that what Brian did was probably the best thing that could have happened to that child is just a fatherly, sort of manly presence in his life to let the brat know that he's gotta behave, and she instead of welcoming that, she decided to play get the upper hand,
The boss,
which
the
shows
manager.
that she is not really, she valued that as opposed to her child's upbringing and having a manly figure in his life, which is of course always a positive thing.
well, you are exactly correct, Aziz, which is why he will grow up to become a, well, I don't know how you say it in Italian, but
A what?
a limberist, a crooked letter.
Oh. Oh, kind of like a bastardo, in other words.
Bastardo, is that right?
Like you mean like a bastard?
No. Like, if you want to go over to England and you want to smoke what I'm smoking now, like, give me.
I don't follow.
A fag.
Yeah.
A fag.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. You should have just said that to begin with, man.
Well, I'm just trying to not get banned.
That's okay. A fag is a cigarette. What's the big deal?
Yeah, a cigarette. I'm
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette.
So how can you
now.
get banned
A
for
faggot.
talking about
A faggot.
cigarettes? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And
Yes,
I mean, and
I'm
you said it in
smoking
a gay
cigarette.
way, happy. So
Right. Exactly.
so there's no problem.
Yeah. No, that's what her son will grow up to become, because she was raised by him. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm so drunk. He was raised by her in her feminine ways, and yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
She wanted to.
Number
okay.
6, tomato, pomodoro. What's up, from Brazil? Number 6, hello. Pomodoro. We can't hear you. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Is that a nickname? Are you a tomato, or what's up?
It's a nickname.
Yeah. So why didn't you choose like a cucumber or a carrot or something? What's with tomato?
I mean, it has like a story behind it. So, my real name is Mateus,
Okay.
and people call me Matt. But like in Portuguese, it sounds more like mate,
Mhm.
and like tomato in Portuguese is tomate.
Okay, gotcha.
So because it's like very similar, so people started calling me Tomachi.
That
And
explains
Tomachi
it.
in Italian, tomato in Italian is pomodoro.
Yeah. So I don't know how much you caught of our discussion so far about Valentine's Day. You guys celebrate Valentine's Day in Brazil, right?
We do in a different day. We do, yeah.
What day is it there in Brazil?
12th of June. June 12th.
Okay, so how are the prices of flowers and chocolates on that day?
Yeah, it goes like it higher, like it's higher on that day.
Okay, so what do you think about that? Is it fair?
No, totally not.
How come?
Same thing with. I mean, it's the same thing with Christmas, right? Like prices go higher on Christmas because people tend to buy more gifts, and same thing on Valentine's Day. Like the prices go higher because people celebrate Valentine's Day. They want to spend more.
That I don't really
they-
agree with that, because Christmas they don't really jack up the price. Valentine's Day is the day where they really jack up 3 or 4 times the price of what it's supposed to be. Christmas, I don't think they do.
Christmas, they jack up everything.
Really?
I don't, not that kind of price. No, I don't think so.
And flowers, but they jack up everything else.
Well, maybe on Valentine's Day they it's like higher than Christmas, but I thought Christmas like they do like higher the price.
Okay, but Christmas is a day for celebrating the birth of Christ, right? Valentine's Day is supposed to be the day to show your love. But shouldn't you be showing your love every day? And shouldn't it work both ways? The woman should show as much love to the man as the man shows to the woman.
Yeah, of course.
So why is it that the man has to go out and buy the chocolates and the flowers, but you never see a woman going to buy chocolates and flowers and giving it to the man, do you?
It's a pretty good question, I know.
So that's why I try to get some women to come up on stage, and so far we haven't got one, but all the guys are in agreement.
Because what we are saying, they know to be true.
Yeah, but why don't they come
they
up and
have
say
no
it? They
argument.
can't speak it? Like, why do they have to type it? Pebble's on stage and she's cooking, but she was cooking before and she had no problem typing.
Because
mean,
we call them out.
It all comes to the same old saying that like men should be the providers. They have to pay things.
But again, this
Like,
is a 60s.
I'm pretty sure
50s,
that's what they
60s,
would tell you.
But this is a 50s and 60s mentality. That's when they were at home all the time cooking and cleaning, which was in effect their like job, we will say. Nowadays, they're out in the field. They're making their own money. So why is it still in the 50s and 60s mentality when it's convenient for them?
Because it doesn't feel right to them.
What do you mean it doesn't
That's
feel right?
exactly-
They want these rights, so they got the
Yeah,
rights.
it's not like an emotion thing. Like they don't feel like secure if you don't act in a certain way, don't behave in a certain way. Like I'm not trying to defend them.
No, that's
Like,
why we have these conversations. We see things from both sides
Yeah,
and have a
exactly.
debate about
Yeah,
it.
I'm with you in that. Like, to be honest, like I agree 100% with you. Like, that's not fair at all. It's like pretty fucked up.
Like, no, okay, I don't want to get too personal with you, so you don't have to answer. Are you married, or do you have a girlfriend, or?
No, I'm single. I'm single.
Okay, so you had a girlfriend before?
Yes.
Okay, so how long did it last? The relationship?
The longest one was 4 years.
4 years. So in those 4 years, whenever you went to a restaurant, did she ever pay or offer to pay?
We always split.
See?
All my relationships that I had, we always split.
All right. So how would you have felt if you always had to pay and she didn't even offer you to pay half even?
Wait, say that again.
Would you still be in a happy relationship, do you feel, if she didn't offer to pay half or looked at you as if you have to pay everything?
I see. In a relationship, like as a boyfriend and girlfriend, I'll feel like a little bit explored. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, oh, she's think that's like, this is my job. This is what I have to do. I'll probably try to talk to her. Like, oh, I want this to be a partnership. I want this to be like, like, I don't mind paying for you, but I think we should be talking about this before you just like assuming that I'm gonna pay.
See, Brian, why do they have this mentality that they automatically expect it?
Because they are entitled. They are entitled because their fathers have paid for everything. They are entitled to money. They automatically expect it. And again, another one let me give you an example. So, I don't want to harp on that. Anyway, she needed dentures because her teeth fell out. She expected me to pay for her dentures. However, when I would not,
But hold on. How did did she ask you? Did she tell you? Like, how did she come up to you and say, "Hey, you know what? Pay for me," or did she say, "Can you help me out?" Or like, how did she ask you or tell you?
she didn't tell me. She didn't ask me. She basically went around the problem and said, "Hey, I need this. I don't know how to pay for it. What's your advice?" And they're so passive aggressive. They
Kind
are
of
so
putting the pressure
passive
on you.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when I said, not sure, can you get loans? Can you, go to the bank? No, I can't do that. I don't have the best credit. I can't do that.
That's when the horns come
What
out.
should I do?
Yeah.
Exactly correct.
Smoke coming out of the ears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now she's 35 years old and has fucking dentures in her mouth. And yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so she lost her teeth, or what happened?
I guess she's just had dental problems her whole life, but she's seriously, she is 35 years old and has a mouth full of dentures. However, I don't mind it because she can still, but whatever.
Yeah, just as long as you don't imagine her as a 80-year-old woman because of the no teeth situation.
Exactly.
That's pretty young for dentures, though, huh?
It is. Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure they're very expensive because here they're very expensive.
Yeah, she asked me to pay $5,000 for dentures.
And you got your wallet out and paid her in hundreds, right?
Right. Exactly.
Is she your wife?
Say that again, Pomodoro.
What? Say it again.
I'm asking if she was your wife.
She was. Yes, she was my wife.
That's why.
Okay.
Selena, what's up?
Hi everyone. I finished eating.
Oh, Pebble.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Selena, give me a moment. I'll come to you in a second. Pebble, so how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, so what were you saying before? You were typing a bunch of stuff. Now you got a chance to speak.
I mean, I just said that according to my family, you know, I say mostly my husband pay for our dinner outside. Sometimes we traveling. Yeah, we go shopping on traveling. Usually, my husband pay. But sometimes I pay too. But I cannot pay all the time, because if I pay all the time, I think my husband feel uncomfortable, because maybe he feels, maybe he just the man the man want to earn more money, than women.
But so the way you see
they
it,
want to earn.
so what you're saying basically is his money is his money and your money is your money. Is that right?
Oh no. Usually, actually, I'm working. I can earn money too. But
Yeah, I didn't say you didn't. I said
big, big things.
Yes, but what you said right now is he wouldn't feel much of a man if he has to pay, or if you have to pay something, right? He wants to pay it.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Just at eating at the dining table just now, I asked him. He said yes, he want to pay.
And what if he did not pay?
How say? if for example you said you if the husband for example he cannot earn money, but the woman love him, the woman can earn a lot of money, and she want to live with her, she love him, and it's also okay, you know.
Yeah, but why does she have to have a lot of
It's
money in order to
also
love
happen
him?
in China.
Yeah, but why does she have to have a lot of money?
Oh, you mean women? Women can earn more money than men, or sometimes the man didn't work. You know, they just stayed at home to take care of the children, and the women choose to work outside, and you know they are needed to be a person to take care of the children and the family.
Yeah.
But
So
my question
if the man stay at
is,
Yeah, ask
home,
it again, Brian.
my
if the
question
man chooses to
is,
stay at home, it's also okay. But you know, in our family, when I got pregnant for my son, I stopped working.
Yeah, okay,
And
but
then I
wait,
take
let
care
Brian
of
ask his question first, and then you can continue.
okay.
my question is here now. And again, you know, Mavakaga, the strict unwritten rule. Why is it that you can earn money and your husband can earn money and you want to go out and have a good life? And again, Mavakaga just asked that question. His money is your money, but your money is your money. Why do you feel? Oh, she's laughing.
She's laughing because it's
Yeah,
true.
because
Because
that's
it's
right.
true. That's what she said
It's
before.
true. It's true.
And I didn't ask it as a
That's
joke. I asked, and you're still laughing. I'm asking as a serious question. Why is his money your money and your money is your money? Should it not be altogether both your money, like together? You know what I mean? Like me and my
No,
wife,
you know,
my
I
money is her
earn
money,
less
her money is my money. It's our
than
money.
him.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
Because my husband can earn more than me.
So what? But
He
it's still the
doesn't
same.
want
But you
to
are
put
one,
money
aren't you?
together.
You're together, aren't you? As one, aren't you working as one? Don't you want to become one with your husband instead of two? The way you're saying it is, he makes more money. I don't make as much
Actually,
money.
just like you said,
Go ahead.
like you said, I want to put our both money together in one bank account. We put money together. How can you earn? How can I earn? But my husband doesn't want to. You know.
No, but what I'm saying is, and you said it
Well,
before.
your husband is a cock. Your husband is a cock.
Yes, because when you said, when you guys go out, he feels like if he pays, he feels more of a man. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So it's all about money then. That's exactly what you're saying. If he doesn't have money, he's not much of a man.
Yep, exactly.
That's what you said, right? You said if he pays, he feels more of a man. So if he doesn't pay, then that clearly means he does not feel like a man. That's exactly what you stated, right?
But Malvakaga, why
in
do we sit here and let women tell a man, a strong man, how they should feel? How they should feel like a man.
And then why does the man take
I
it?
don't. Exactly.
Like you said, her man must be a
Exactly.
fucking cuck, right?
Yeah. Yep, he is. That's right.
There's no other explanation. I mean, Pebble, I gave you the floor. I'm giving you the floor. You could, stick up for him, stick up for yourself, but I don't hear anything.
You know, how says some husbands, they earn money, they give all their salary to their wives, but some don't. Some
but you're
husbands in China,
wait.
It's
keep the
different
money.
because in the Chinese culture, understand, because my dad did the same thing. So every time the money comes in, he gave it to my mom, not to give her to spend it all, to give it to my mom so she knows how to invest So that's different because they're still using both paycheck
know,
as
I
one.
know.
You know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
like they
so
give
it's
her
still
to
as
spend
one.
it all.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, you're right. Your
Exactly.
wife said you're right,
Exactly.
but
As
in
a
my
couple.
family, my husband didn't give me the money to invest. He invested by himself.
Well, that is his own business. You
What
need
the
to talk to him.
oh my
Different.
God. See, okay, hold up. My whole exact point here right now is that I should not feel like a man because I did not give my wife money
For
to
dentures.
pay for her kids.
Or the dentures.
So
you're not much of a man.
are the dentures.
Yeah, you're not much of a man.
Exactly.
According to her, not me.
Exactly. Correct. Yeah. So I'm not a man because I did not pay for her. Again, I go back to like an hour and a half ago. Men are in love. Women are in business. The business of money. Let me see how much I can get out of them. Why do you think all these women are on OnlyFans? On OnlyFans and make millions of dollars a month because they prey on the Simps by being electronic whores, by being electronic prostitutes, by going online and showing their tits or spreading. And simp men will pay for it.
Well,
It is the oldest profession of all time.
yeah, it goes back
Of all
to
time.
Jesus' days there, yeah.
Yes. Women want, not all, but most. They want to see how much they can be paid for them simply existing.
So, Pebble, what do you
And
think
a
about
man-
that? Pebble.
But you know, my husband, before when I didn't work, he gave me money for the life expenses, for the children education, for clothes,
Yeah, okay.
dinner, and yeah.
Pebble, you
Because
said you were married 30
I'm
years, right?
younger.
You've been married 30 years, right?
No.
Or 20 years?
20.
20, okay, sorry. So when you first started dating your husband, which was previously your boyfriend, when you went out for a restaurant, for wherever you went, who paid?
Of course, him.
Why do you mean?
Him.
Why, of course? Did you see? But did you see
I
what she
knew
said?
was gonna say.
Did you hear what she said before? Him? He said, "Of course, him." Like, what a stupid question.
Of course, him.
How could I ask such a question, huh?
Can I say something? Sorry.
Exactly.
Here, Kai wants to say something. Hold on.
Sorry,
Listeners.
it just kind of brings back my old memory. I can say that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what? One of my ex, he's Chinese, right? He gave me a phone as a present, which is really expensive. And then during one time when we had a fight, he said one thing I'll never forget in my life. He said, "Give me back my phone." And then from that moment on, I'm telling myself I'm not getting anything from any guy so I can take up their bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of imbalance in the relationship. If you always expect the guy to give you something, they have power all over you. That's the thing I don't want. But I don't know if other women can take that. But for me, I cannot take that.
Well, obviously, this one can't take it.
Sorry,
she can. She can take it. I know she can.
I know your wife said often also happen on me. You know, when I have a relationship with my husband for more than 2 years, and then I want to I want to break up. I wanted to break up with him, and he also said that to me. He said, "Give me something." I said, "Give it."
It's me. What'd you want to say?
Okay,
Give me back. Give me money back.
Hold on. Let number
question.
wait. Let number 3 say something. He's been quiet for a while.
Yeah.
So I've got a question. Now, say for example, there's a man and a woman. They're married and children at home, and one person has to go out to work. Now, naturally, whoever earns the most money to go out to work. So my question is that would you accept the man to stay at home with the kids and you go out to work to bring home the money? Would
I'm
that be
assuming you're asking
acceptable?
Pebble.
I
Yes.
already know the answer.
If how to say, if I can earn a lot of money to support my family, I can accept my husband work at home, take care of my children. But
Of course.
for a long time, it's not good for the husband.
Okay,
because
so if you could earn a lot of
everybody
money,
can
so what
change.
if,
Everybody
okay,
can change.
only if you could earn a lot of money, but what if he went back to work and he only made half of that money you could have made? Is that okay then? He has to go to work and you would stay home? Because you said only if you make a lot of money. So what if he went back to work and he only makes half of that money? Should he go back to work instead?
He can earn half of that money.
Yeah, so he should go, right?
Who take care of the children?
You
Who can earn
would
more?
you
Who
would
can go outside?
No, you would take care of the children and he would go to work to make half the money you would have made if you went to work. Is that okay?
You would make if you want to work. Oh, you usually how to say? But for the health family, I think I should choose let my husband to go outside to work.
Oh, so your
And
choice, of
I will
course.
cut my job.
Yeah,
Cut my
you would
job.
cut
There
your
we
job. Of
go.
course you
And
would
I
cut
work
your job.
some and
Mickey,
also
what's
take
cringe,
care of the
man?
children.
Mickey, what's
No,
up?
I think, sorry, just something. I sort of half agree. So look, let's just simply say someone has to stay at home and someone has to work outside. I would say, like, as Pebble said, if she can earn a lot more money, she is willing to accept to work outside, but only for a short period of time. And I think that's generally the case. Like, women say, look, I want to go out there, I want to work. But it's like, well, the kids, someone's got to stay home, right? And generally, I think women would accept that if they can earn a lot more money, then they're willing to go outside while the husband stays at home. But as Pebble said, like, only for a short period of time, it's not healthy. And I think that's the thing. Like, I think that's the key point, is that women would be willing to accept the man stays at home and doesn't work, but works at home taking care of the house and kids. But long term, I think that the woman would end up resenting the man, right?
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Mickey, what's up? What's cringe? What's strange or trash?
Oh, no. I was just saying you cringe during the story that frick. I think it's the Canadian person was saying, like, about the phone thing. That's why I said cringe.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that
that's
was my
cringe
wife.
that, like, he was controlling her, not what you guys were saying just now.
No problem.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we
yeah.
didn't get. It's hard to tell
Yeah,
through
yeah.
text, right?
Wait, who was controlling who?
No, when
No, it was about
Kai
the
was
gift.
telling
It
the
was about
story
the
about the
gift.
phone.
No, the phone.
No. It was about
Yeah.
when your missus was talking about her ex with the phone.
Yeah, I got it.
That's what Mickey found cringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
got
correct.
it.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Mickey?
No, I was
Where in
just
the
gonna
States
say,
are you?
could I give my 2 cents?
Yeah, where are you, first of all? Where are you in the States?
I'm from Colorado.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
So in my honest opinion, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like a bit modern day. I think I do think personally that when, like, kids are super young, I think it is best if there's one person who is home. Now, if that means full time at home, I think somebody could, for example, maybe do part time, right? Like, if the kids are at school, they could, part time. But I think ideally one of the parents would at least have to be part time, if not full time at home when they're younger. But having had a parent that or a mom that stayed home full time, personally, as just myself, I can't imagine being at home for like my whole life. Like I like working, I like changing up the tempo of my day, doing things like that. Like I want to work in the medical field. Like it's just, and for me personally, and I know that maybe there's a lot of women that would disagree with this, but I really could care less if the dude or if me are earning more. I think at the end of the day, I would just see it as like, who's willing to do what, like I would be okay maybe working at home, like maybe he wants to be at home full time, like as long as we're both contributing. And I think it's key is that both parents are helping raise the kids, not just one, regardless of who is staying home. I think, it's up to the people to decide. I just don't really see it as like a, oh, this gender has to do this and this gender has to do that kind of thing. I think both parents should be involved in raising the kids to some extent, right? I get it that the person who would be working full time would, be more tired, it would be a give and take. But I mean, just personally, like as I look, like she never went back to work. And I also think, and again, like women can do that, but what's a scary thought too is that, after a certain amount of time, if you're out of work, it's pretty hard to get back into the workforce because you have a huge gap. I mean, you can say, oh, I was a stay-at-home mom, but the workforce can be tricky like that. So I would also be worried that if I were to stay out of the workforce too long, or even if he were, that if at some point, one of us wanted to go back to work, that it would be more difficult for them to get a job. And I wouldn't want that for either person,
Okay, but hold on. Are you married, or you have a boyfriend, or?
No, I'm single at the moment.
Okay, so previously when you had a boyfriend, okay, what was your longest relationship, if I can ask?
Yeah, it was almost 5 years.
Okay, so at the beginning, when you guys went to restaurants and stuff, did he always
Sure.
pay?
No. I actually dated a German guy.
Uh-huh.
So I would say, overarchingly, he would pay for stuff, just because he would offer. But there were times when I would say like, hey, like I wanna pay for this for you, or I want to do this for you, and we would just both be fine with it either way. Like it didn't really. Whereas I have dated an American guy, and I'm not trying to stereotype Americans at all or Germans, but this particular dude, I remember it really bothered me. Oh, and also for context, it only lasted 7 months, so yeah. But I remember whenever I would try to pay, he would roll his eyes, and that felt very just like degrading and demeaning. And I remember one time he forgot cash, and so I said, hey, like I'll pay for it, and he was like, come over here, and he had to like go in a corner and have me basically sneak him the money because he didn't want to, quote, embarrass himself that a woman would pay for him. And that was just like, I just didn't even think about stuff like that. Like for me, it just, I think that's crazy. I think it's nice if a dude, offers to pay, but and I think whoever, asks the first date, I think it's important that they pay. That's just kind of my opinion. Although, I wouldn't necessarily be super offended if we split the bill, but yeah, that's kind of how it, like that was like more of an extreme side of like, I don't want a dude to look down on me either. It kind of made me worried that, if I did earn more than him, that he would be offended. I think that's kind of ridiculous. It's just like, you should be doing what you love. I should be doing what I love. And if somebody earns more or less, that shouldn't affect our personal relationship, in my opinion.
So how would you feel if you were going out with either one of these two guys, and come Valentine's Day, they didn't give you a gift? How would that make you feel?
I've never been super huge into Valentine's Day, per se. I would say it would probably hurt my feelings a bit. Because personally, when it comes to Valentine's Day, one thing I haven't liked is that it's kind of a women's day, which I would say.
Exactly.
Yes.
She said it exactly correct.
And so for me, every guy I have ever dated, I have never treated the holiday as my day. I've treated it as our day. So I remember the American guy, again, he was a little but I remember like when I got him flowers for Valentine's Day, and he almost cried because he said, "Wow, I've never received flowers in my life." And I was like, that's just so sad. Like I wouldn't have an issue giving a guy chocolates or flowers, and I have, to all the guys I have dated, I have always bought them a gift too, you know. I just kind of see it as like sweet for both of us. I almost see it kind of like Christmas, but for a couple, like we're celebrating that we're together, not, oh yeah, he's got to give me flowers and he's got to give me chocolates, and it's got to be at least $50 gifts. And no. If he were just to give me a little box of chocolates or a $10 bouquet of flowers, I would proudly put that vase in the middle of the table and keep watering them until they die. You know,
So
that's
you-
just how I see it.
yeah,
Mavakaga,
yeah.
tell me a lie without telling me. She said it's a Women's Day.
Well,
Yeah, I would say overarchingly for sure. Like if you look at the day, it's generally women who are complaining, like if the guy is not getting them something. And like again, I would be more hurt because for me personally, if I didn't get anything, it'd be like, so you didn't think about it at all, because I would have gotten him something, right? It's not because
No, but the point is, why do you have to wait for that day to come in order for each other to buy something for someone? I've said it
We
from the
don't.
beginning. It's every day it should be Valentine's Day, not just that one day of the year. Why is it?
So correct me.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Go ahead, it's me.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
was just.
Sorry, there you go. Finish off, Mickey. It's all good.
And I was sorry, I was just gonna say one sentence. No, actually, personally, like I just kind of do it as a tradition. But I'm not gonna lie, I like it better when either me or the dude, we just get each other something on a day that's not Valentine's Day.
That's what I was saying. Go
I
ahead,
just think
it's
it's
me.
more fun.
Well, that's
correct me
exactly
if I'm
what he was saying. However, I have a question.
Okay, but wait, let it's me say something
Okay.
because he's dying to ask something.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, just to clarify. So, just to sum up from what Mickey was saying, I don't think that she believes it is Women's Day. Correct me if I'm wrong. She believes it's more of like a couple's Christmas.
Same,
And
yeah.
yeah, right. So I think that's what she said. She didn't believe it was Women's Day per se, but overarchingly, society looks as it is a woman's. She believes it's a couple's type Christmas type thing.
Yes.
All right, Brian.
And, you know, like when I looked at my parents, you know, my dad was never given anything. And I don't know, I always just found that kind of sad personally. And I remember I read some statistic that the first flowers that a lot of men get is at their funeral. And so for me, I was like,
Exactly.
Yeah. And so for me, I was like, that's bull. Like, I'm not going to do that. Any dude I date is going to get their own nice bouquet of flowers and a little box of chocolates, you know? I'm going to ensure that that's not a statistic for the people I date. So that's just my tradition, I guess. Because it's one thing if it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, you know? Like, Mother's Day is for mothers, Father's Day is for father. But Valentine's Day, it's not just for women, in my opinion.
Brian, what do you want to say?
That is not... Okay, I'm not trying to be argumentative here right now. And I've got to go to bed. But I'm not trying to be argumentative. However, Mickey, you said about 2 minutes ago that Valentine's Day is for women. So, what my question is right here for everybody right now, why are women a hive mind? Why do you think that you are like every other woman? Why do you feel
Slight
that
clarification.
you can, hold up, let me ask, let me finish my question.
Okay.
Again, you know, the people that bitch about inequality, that bitch about, you know, anything else, why is it that women, you know, you want to say, oh, I want to do this for women or that for women. Why do you feel that you are a hive mind, that you should, you know, do the right things in your life for every other woman in your life, regardless if you know them or not. Why is it?
Can you clarify the end of that? I don't really understand. What do you mean do it for other women?
Yes, because you all think, not all, but most, that you are a hive mind and that every woman thinks like you.
A hive mind?
A hive mind, correct. It's like a bee. It's like a hive mind, which is what it's called. The liberals do the same thing. The libtards do the same thing.
So slight correction. So I'm saying that society sees it as a woman's day. Like if you stereotypically ask, and from what I have seen growing up, women are the ones that receive gifts. There are a lot of men who don't get squat on Valentine's Day. And I'm saying personally that despite the fact that yes, that's society's way of doing it, I don't see it that way.
Well, and
Personally.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's nice. That's fantastic. Maybe you have broken away from the hive mind. However, society sees it as men should give women gifts on Valentine's Day, which, again, the whole point of my voice room is that Valentine's Day is a scam.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but Brian, you know what else is going to be a scam coming up in June? Father's Day, which is basically non-existent, but Mother's Day, totally different story. Why is that? Why does Father's Day really mean nothing?
Absolutely.
It's a nothing day.
So I think. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I think.
Hold up. 1 second. Let me answer Mafakaga's question. Mother's Day, you have to get flowers, you have to get gift for your mother. You have to shower her with praise and do all this and that. However, in June, what do you get for your father? Nothing. It is just another fucking day. Now, I love my stepfather, so he has given me so many things in my life when I was younger that I could not afford. And so now I am able to afford it. I give him all the gifts possible. However, Father's Day is not a fucking thing. The libtards want to cancel Father's Day.
Well, I didn't know that. It's me. What do you want to say?
Okay, so basically the whole thing between, like, say, Father's Day or even things like, testicular cancer versus breast cancer, any sort of issues relating to men versus women, there's a reason why women tends to generally get more attention for it. And that's because is that the disposability factor between men and women are different. So say, for example, men are generally considered more disposable than women, and that's just from a reproduction standpoint. So, for example, you need a lot less men in order to repopulate a society than you do women, because women, obviously, a man can, with quite a few women, can then reproduce quite a lot. But however, you need women they hold and they get pregnant, and then it takes around about 9 months. So, from a genetic sort of point of view, is that men are generally more disposable. And that's...
Hold up 1 second. It's me. Hold up. You are exactly the opposite. If a man was stranded one man was stranded on an island with 100 females, he, every next day, would have impregnated them. But if a woman was on an island with 100 males, she would take 9 months. Men create life. Women just carry it.
I'm not arguing that. Okay, so let's just look at it from this. An island, okay, so an island, 100 people, 1 male, 99 females, okay. Another island, 99 males, 1 female. Which is going to produce faster? Okay, so you, even with 1 male, yeah, I know, I understand that, mate. But I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying, as a perception point for a long period of time, because women hold it, men can reproduce more just as with 1. Okay, therefore, it's even if there's less men, it's things can still tick over and be fine. But if you need women in order to reproduce, and therefore they hold it for 9 months, okay, you would need more women. Okay, therefore, from a disposability point of view, even if there's less men, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so therefore, it's not paid as attention as much. I don't disagree. I don't agree with it. I don't promote it. All I'm saying is, from an observational point of view over a period of time, that is the general consensus, even on a subconscious level. That's just how it is. And I think that's why, you sort of, okay.
No, it is very simple. It is very simple. If one man was on a deserted island with 100 women, he could have 100 kids in 9 months.
What
However,
argument are you trying to make?
I'm trying to make that women think that they create life. They don't. No, men actually create life. You all just carry life.
I mean, from a biological standpoint, I would say both create life, right? Like you can't. I mean, we see that in modern day. 2 women can't have a kid and 2 men can't have a kid. And as someone who's in science, the man contributes his Y or X chromosome, right? And the woman contributes the X, and that determines the man determines what the gender of the kid is. But biologically, if there's women who are saying we create life, I mean, that makes just as little sense as men saying they create life, because at the end of the day, they both have to create the life, right? Like it's a 50-50 contribution.
I agree, and that is exactly what I have been saying from for 4 fucking hours. It's 50-50. Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So, Mickey, you just absolutely agree with me. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
No one's debating. I mean, yeah, from a biological point of view, it has to work like that, right?
No, biologically, it's 50-50. A man's sperm cannot create a child without a woman's egg. But however, modern day females want to say that they can create life. They don't. Not without a man.
Yeah, I get it, but then again, you can't argue. Like when people bring up that argument, you just shake your head and go, "I'm not going to waste my energy with this type of thing." Generally, if you come across someone like that, and they're a functioning adult in society, in inverted commas, you just simply go, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not going to argue with this person because it's going to bring down my IQ for the day, and I've got better shit to do. I've got bigger fish to fry." So you just sort of go, okay, well, go watch TikTok, and I'm gonna bounce out. You just gotta let retards be retards. Fuck it, dude.
I think in the.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. There you go.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think the problem is, right, is the voices that are the loudest that we're hearing are the most extreme sides, right? Like on one hand, you have women who are saying, we don't need men, right? And I would disagree with that.
Yep.
And on the other hand, you have some of the extreme, right men who, basically are incels, but maybe wouldn't want to admit it and basically hate women, right? You have both sides of the coin. But the thing is I would think that the majority of the masses doesn't actually swing to either of those extremes. You know, I don't see men as less, and I would hope that men, when they see me, that they wouldn't see me as less either. You know, that we just both treat each other equally. You know, like even I've heard some women say growing up they felt like in school that math and science were pushed more towards men, and you know women were told not to do that. But for me personally, where I grew up, I did not ever feel like that was the case. And honestly, I didn't even notice that there were really different opinions on, I hate men, I hate women until I got to high school. So for me, it was like, oh, I like science, I'm going to go for science. So I honestly didn't, there's biological differences, but I don't think that assuming that, all women or all men think one way as a whole, or as you say, maybe have a hive mind is accurate. That'd be the one thing I would disagree with you would be, I'm sure there's a lot of people in that hive mind, and yes, they are loud on the internet and they scream it, from the rooftops. But sane people like myself, and it sounds like the rest of you, don't see it that way. I would treat Father's Day the same way as I would Mother's Day. I would treat me or a guy earning more or less equally as not. I think if both people, it's one thing if one of us is being lazy and not contributing. I would have an issue if a guy just if we didn't have kids and he just wanted to rot at home and have me do stuff, or vice versa. Like I would feel so unfulfilled if I was in my house just rotting and letting the dude just pay and I'm not doing anything. I think as both people are contributing and care about each other and put effort towards the relationship, I think that's what's important.
Well, Mavagaga, we have now found a woman that is of like mind.
Well, you were trying to find something to argue with her about, but I don't think you found it. You tried.
No, I was not. I was not trying to argue. I may have come at her to try to argue something. However, she proved her point.
We try, Mickey, because it makes it a little bit more interesting. You know what I mean?
No, it's totally fine. I mean, you don't know me,
50.
But I'm saying a lot of people get offended when Brian, or myself, start an actual counterpoint to what they're saying. But you held up quite well. So
is that the norm? That's
a lot of people. A lot of people just see it one way, and that's it. Like for example, this Pebble woman that came up here. Now she's a little bit quiet, but she was saying that the man should pay when they go out to eat, or else he's not going to feel manly if the woman pays even half, which is total bullshit. Yep. I feel anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she is to some extent a bit right? Like if we look at the dude I dated in the U.S., he genuinely was offended when I tried to pay. He genuinely would get triggered when I would hold the door open for him. Like he would roll his eyes, and I would just be like, Is there a problem? Like I don't understand why I can't hold a door for you, or why I can't, like, just stupid things like that. There are definitely men out there like that, and there are definitely women out there who, if you were to date them, they would say, oh my gosh, you didn't get me a Valentine's Day gift? Like, we're done. Like, I hate you. Like, you need to get me a $50, Like, I would agree with her to the extent that those people exist, unfortunately. And I think we've probably all come across, I'm assuming you're all straight, so you've probably come across women like that. And I've unfortunately also dated at least one man who had that same sort of mindset. And I think, again, it unfortunately does boil down to the fact that some of these people are raised with the mindset that they are entitled, and or that if they don't fulfill this society role, that that they're not good enough or something.
Yeah,
which
but if they've been married, if people have been married for 20 years and still are able to say something like, well, my money is my money and his money is his money, is that really true love? Because it shouldn't just be our money.
I mean, I don't personally think that's the most healthy
Especially after
mindset to
20
have,
years.
especially if you have kids, right? It's like, so what, are we gonna have separate banking accounts and, whatever? Yeah, no, personally, I don't understand that. There are people that do have systems set up like that. Especially, I think a lot more in the modern day, a lot of people want these separate accounts. But personally, I think if I would get to the point where I would marry a guy, I would want us to push our finances together. I would maybe, with my earnings, I would maybe keep a bit to myself for like savings or whatever. But, it would just be like for absolute safety reasons. I mean, I'd hope it wouldn't be that way, but I don't know if he went for some reason crazy bipolar or something, I'd maybe want that side thing. But as a whole, yeah, I would share my money. I mean, it would be our money,
Yeah.
Well,
unless he's got like
I have a question.
addiction.
And Mickey,
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
So today, I went to the store. I went to Sheets, and I stood outside, and in the fucking cold, and I held the door from an ugly woman that was coming out, and I held the door for a homeless man, and then I held the door for a dude that looked like he was in his 70s and hobbling. I held the door for them.
What are you, fucking
Okay.
security or something, holding the door for everybody? What are you doing?
No.
I'm joking.
No,
Go on.
but the whole point is that is the right thing to do. To be nice to people, regardless
Common
if you
courtesy,
know
yes.
them or not.
Yeah.
I did not know these people. I did not know them.
Sure.
But how I can feel good about myself and realizing that, oh no, I can just be a fucking asshole and go out and, go out into my car and not care. But I held the door for them. And I actually, I was a doormat.
But the more important question is, did they say thank you to you for holding the door open?
No, they did not.
You see, that's the problem, because even here, we have a lot of Indians, again, as I told you many times in Canada. And you hold the door open for them, and they just walk right in like they're fucking royalty. So I actually say, oh, you're welcome. They don't even say thank you. Oh, yeah, no problem, bro. Fuck, man.
That's
At
right.
least acknowledge the fact that I held the door for you. Just be respectful, if anything.
It's 2 words. It's just 2 words. Thank you. That's it.
It's so interesting you say that. I wonder if there is in that specific context a bit of misandry, right? Because interestingly, I hold the door quite often, especially if I see like elderly people or people carrying in boxes, or sometimes if I'm just seeing people right behind me, I just hold it because I don't want it to like slam in their face. But generally speaking, they usually at least smile, nod their head, or say something. It's very rare in my experience that, they don't say anything, unless it's my freaking American ex-boyfriend where he would roll his eyes. That was the craziest reaction I've ever gotten, but...
But you just said the word misandry, because 9 times out of 10, women hate men. And so, when I held the door for a man, which I often do, they'll look at me, nod their head, yeah, maybe say thank you. But if I hold the door for a woman, she will look at me like, oh, you want to fuck me? Oh, what are you trying to do? You're trying to look up and down my body? It is, see, this is the opposite effect of what we need to do. And misandry is very real. That women, feminists, hate men.
I think that the slight correction in this would be based on so there is a huge definition of women who define themselves as feminists who their catchline is I hate men, right? But
Yes.
I would define myself, for example, as a feminist, but that's not my catchphrase. That never has been my catchphrase. Like, my thing with feminism is, like, for example, seeing the women in Iran who aren't able to have the same rights as men, right? That's what my feminism means to me. Is no, like, I think that's messed up that you're not letting women go to schools, you're not letting them get an education, et cetera, et cetera. But at no point would I would say that men don't face issues too. I've talked to straight men before, and they've told me that in this modern day they felt like they had to lie on their job applications because they were worried they weren't going to be taken on because they were straight white men. So they would put gay, bisexual, they, them, or add some pronouns. So they feel like they had a better chance, which
Well, those are facts. Those
is
are
that.
who get the jobs first, anyways, nowadays.
Yeah, correct. Because it is the priority. So again, if we live in a world and a quote unquote, what do they call it? What do they call it? Oh my God.
What called?
Oh, patriarchy.
Oh.
If we live in a patriarchy, then why do women get preferential treatment in court cases? In, again, maybe 2004, I had a woman rear in my vehicle and ran from the scene. If that was a man, he would have had jail time. However, she got just probation, and she just had to do community service.
Was it a female judge?
It was.
Oh,
Exactly.
I didn't even have to ask,
correct.
actually.
Exactly. You didn't even have to ask that question because you knew.
I guess with how I see things is, I guess I just this has been something that was hard initially to break out of the shell of, but I guess I don't see things as so black and white, right? Like, I wouldn't say, oh, women have more struggles and men have more struggles. I would see it as women have specific struggles for them and men have specific struggles for them, right? Because I think the problem is this it creates this mindset of almost, it makes you feel like it's men versus women, right? For the most part, like, as you say, like 9 out of 10 women think this, and most women, when I hold the door open, they don't acknowledge me.
Correct.
I think there are definitely issues on both sides. I guess, yeah, my one slight issue with your logic would be that, again, kind of the black and white mindset, right? I think a lot of people, they're likely to jump to one extreme or the other, again, because they can find community, right? Like, as you said, you haven't spoken, I guess, I guess any people that are like myself, where I guess I would describe myself as more of a middleman. Like, I just see communication is key between both sexes, and that both people should be respected equally, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's a lot easier in modern day society to end up in these extreme categories, right? I mean, I for sure have felt at times like there's more pressure for me to reach in feminism this extreme of hating men. But at the end of the day, my logic sticks above all of the wanting to jump into a category. Like, if I start to view all of you as my enemy, and that's not to say, I mean, my dating experiences, right? If I look at both of them overarchingly, they weren't good. Both of the relationships ended in cheating. So I could pull the, criteria of, well, 9 out of 10 men cheat in relationships. So men, they just don't care about women, and why would I want to date men? And I could jump to that, idea, but I don't want to apply that to all men or to all women, because if I do that, I'm viewing all of you as my enemy. I'm thinking all of you are cheaters, you're liars, you're backhanded, you all want to hurt me on the street. And that's not to say at night, that I wouldn't be more precautious with men around, for sure, just due to my biological sex. I am more at risk of being attacked, but I would just say I would be careful about going down these rabbit holes of seeing all of us as one thing or me seeing all of you as another thing, because I think if a lot of the people in the middle would stand together a bit more, I think maybe then the extremists would just kind of look more dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but if men
here they are over
are
there.
more the cheaters than the women, I'm pretty sure that
Sure.
on all those dating websites and whatever else, there's about 80% of the profiles are women profiles, are they not? So how did the women get there?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Mickey, I have an answer for you.
Wait, can 1 sec before you answer? Can I ask
What I'm saying
Oh
is,
my God.
Kaga
Oh
what
my
you mean?
God.
what I mean is that
dude.
on all these dating profiles, like Tinder, Bumble, whatever they are,
Sure.
I'm sure that the majority of the profiles on there or the accounts on there are from women. Are they not? So are all these women single?
Based on the statistics, I'm pretty sure statistically, I think there's more. So first off, let me just say, I'm not saying that men are more likely to cheat. Let me put that out there. I'm saying I could draw that conclusion. I'm not drawing that conclusion, right?
Mhm.
Dating apps in general have more men on them, actually, as a whole, than women. And that's why they can put men through a lot of apps, which is unfair. They will charge men money, whereas the women profiles, they will make those free as like an incentive to get
Yep.
women to join the app.
Yep.
So even, I would argue the statistic you could draw from those apps is if you go on the dating apps like Tinder or whatnot, the chance of the person, regardless of gender, cheating on you is statistically higher. I feel like people who are on Tinder and dating apps as a whole, and I'm not saying there's not exceptions, as a whole, they are not actually, they'll say that they are relationship orientated, but I wouldn't say that they really are.
Yeah, okay,
And
but
that's
so what you just said
with
is
experience on these apps.
for women to create a profile is free, but men,
Yes.
if they want to cheat, they'd have to pay first of all to get on that website.
That's true.
And then
That's
find
true.
a woman. So isn't it easier for a woman to cheat than it is for a man? Because basically they could sign up for free and just find whatever they want online on those dating sites.
I would agree with that. I would say, I think maybe in that case, yeah, it would be easier for women to cheat on these apps. The question would be, though, is if we were to pull the statistics, would we really be able to draw the conclusion that even if it's easier, that one sex is more likely to cheat on the other? And again, even if we were to determine that from these apps, society-wise, dating apps are not the norm. They're unfortunately becoming kind of normal, but I would argue that even if we were to pull a data point from that we wouldn't be able to therefore apply that to all of society. Like scientifically, that doesn't make sense.
So why is it that dating websites, the women are free, the men have to pay? You go to a bar or a nightclub, the women are free up until midnight, but the men have to pay. Why is all these things an incentive for women to go for free, but the men have to pay just to get in the door?
I've always found that personally to be quite unfair. From what I've understood, because I actually asked some bars, I said, hey, like, why won't you let my male friends in, and why do women get cheaper? It's again, it's an incentive thing, right? So apparently, allegedly, based on statistics that a lot of these bars have drawn, if a woman comes to a bar, statistically, she's more likely to come with a bunch of females. And a lot of males, and I'm not speaking for all males, but males are more likely to want to enter a bar where there's females. They're not as keen to enter a bar where it's just men. So bars will put up this incentive. And again, if I was running a bar, I wouldn't do that. I do agree. I don't think that's fair. But apparently, statistically, they have better success with drawing more male crowds in when they increase the women percentage in the bar. And so they're willing to put up with their losses to get a higher amount of men in.
Yeah, but
Because
that's just a door cover, because once
She
they're in, they
just
all pay the same amount for the booze and food or whatever else is in that bar or club. It's the same price for
she
everybody,
Sure.
male
just
or
said the
female.
truth. She just said the truth. That women go to bars to explore their best options, and they only go for the fucking assholes. They will not sit down with a man to say, "Hey, how are you? What do you do for work?" They will only go for the men. They only go for assholes. And again, all right, here now is my question for Mavakaga and for Mickey. Why is it that women initiate 41% of the divorce rates here in America?
Well, I said it was high. I thought it was higher, so I don't know.
Mm.
Mickey can answer.
Before I answer that question super quick, I know the last dude, I don't speak Japanese. I think that's Japanese. Did you really quick want to say something before I answer Brian's question?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
what's up? So
No,
I gotta.
Okay, bye. Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
I gotta
Sorry,
comment.
brother.
So if you look at history, right? It's because I like to study history and then compare it to today. If you go like 100 years back, majority of the people on the earth, right? Majority. Usually women stay home and do the cooking and the housewife and everything, and the men go out and work. That's like 200 years. I don't know how many 100, 200 years ago, right? And so there was a separation, right? The women is the one that makes the babies, stay home, take care of the kids and everything. And the men go out and work and go hunting and everything. Now, if you fast forward today, it's no longer like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have people that still want to follow these social rules from the past. And there's actually no rule to say that you open the door or I open the door. You know, a decent person, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter who they are, right? If you open the door, I should say thank you. If I open the door, you should say thank you, right? That's a decent person. It has nothing to do with different sexes or anything like that, right? Today, you look at all the women. A lot of women are way smarter than the boys. The boys are a bunch of fucking idiots.
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm not
Nope.
saying everyone, but there's a lot of them. Right? They don't study.
Well,
And you look
so
at all the-
slight correction on your statistic.
Okay, wait.
It's not okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm almost finished. So
yeah. Sorry.
it's mostly case by case, right? I'm not
Sure.
saying everyone. Right? I kind of like overstep, but it's case by case. But like, if I've been talking to a lot of people from Asia, and I noticed the girls are really, really smart, and the boys, they're not as smart as the girls. You know, and even like in America, depending on the person, right? Like some girls, they're like lawyers, attorneys, and doctors and everything. And then you ask the boys, what do you want to do? I don't know. I'm still thinking. I'm still searching. So I don't know what the statistics are, like the percentage.
Sure.
But I've been noticing that girls are getting smarter and smarter, and boys are getting kind of lazy and lazy. And so when it comes to a person like you, right, which is a decent person with good morals, and you know, you try to be hospitable when you open the door, they cannot handle it because I'm the man. I'm supposed to be the man. You know, the man's supposed to do this. The man's supposed to... That's freaking 200 years ago. Today is different, right? Today is modern day. If everybody was to treat each other with respect and be hospitable, no matter you're a man or a woman, then the world would be a better place.
Those are good points. I would say two corrections. One, and I think this is important for everyone to note, but if you kind of note, so you making the observation that men are becoming more dumb than women is that's inherently false. That's
case, Gary, that's case by case. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. But that the whole overarching issue with a lot of this is, again, making personal observations, right? That's what science is for, is looking. So I'll answer Brian's thing about the statistic of the divorce rate, right? Because that is an actual statistic. But if we make our own personal observations, we can often come to false conclusions. So like in your case, so actually men are shown statistically to have a wider range of IQs, which means that there is a percentage of men with an IQ lower than women, a larger percentage. That does not mean, though, that men are dumb. Their IQ range is just larger than the average women, whose range tends to be, on average, it doesn't go as low as the men's. But that doesn't mean, on average, that men, are probably more likely to be dumb. Men are shown as exactly like women to be able to have the same capacities, learning abilities. There's really not a difference between the actual sexes other than a slight difference between the edge IQ range, okay? And then secondly, the last point I was going to address, what was your other one? I can't remember what the other point was I was going to address. But anyways, actually no, I think those were the 2 points I was trying to address. Yeah, so just be careful about, overall observations leading to conclusions, because again, that can lead to incorrect conclusions. Anyway, so let me jump to the statistic then about Ryan's divorce rate. So I think it was Mavakaga. Am I saying your name right, by the way? I just want to make sure I'm saying it right.
You could just say Mava anyway.
Okay, Mava. Okay, cool. I think you said something about that you're surprised it's not higher. So that is actually a correct thing to notice. So the divorce rate actually was higher about 5 to 10 years ago. It has significantly decreased since about 5 years ago or so. Obviously, scientists are trying to understand why it's dipped or like kind of leveled off. It's not as high as it was. So I would just say this when it comes to the divorce rate, right? This is going to be a lot of biological, a bit of stereotyping, but it's also a bit statistics. So women overall are more likely to be more emotionally connected with their emotions, right? I would consider myself maybe a little bit less. I kind of see myself as a more logical orientated personally, but again, there's exceptions to the rule. But so the issue is that if you have a more, on average, emotional mindset, right, you're not necessarily going to look at the facts and see like, our marriage is having some issues, but we could work on it, right? You're going to think back to all the times, and you've probably noticed this with women a lot, is they will say, you're always this way. Remember back to 1992 or whatever the frick they'll say. And you'd be like, no, I don't remember that. And they'll have these like ingrained memories of this insane argument you had back at this one time. And, like these emotional experiences are more ingrained overall into women's brains than men. And so they'll use that as leverage. And unfortunately, what the issue is then is if they're not looking overall at the logic of their marriage and they're recalling back to these negative feelings because they feel, generally speaking, more intensely than men do. Logically, that would lead to them being more likely to initiate the divorce. Whether or not that's a logical conclusion, of course, there are instances of, violence and, whatever, where obviously divorce is, in my opinion, justified. But unfortunately, that does lead to them being at a higher rate of initiating divorces based on the fact that their biological systems are, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that tends to lead them to be more likely to initiate stuff, as well as, and I will agree with Brian, the rise of this more extreme feminism side, which, feminism, there was always an extreme side, but feminism used to be about, or I hope in my mind that it is still about women being treated equally. Like, apparently, I wasn't born in the 1900s, but apparently it wasn't until 1970 that women could have their own credit card separate from a man, which is crazy. Like, I think that's great that we can do that. But with the rise of that as well and the louder voice, I think a lot of women are also reaching a bit on the extreme of just hating men, which is not what's supposed to happen, right? So they're also initiating divorces because a lot of them are starting to see more down on men, you know. And that would be the 2 points.
I have a question for you in your comment. So maybe stupid is not the word, but then I should use a different word, but I don't have the word. But what I'm trying to say is, if it's true, right, what you're saying, right, why is it that, you know, like the older age men, like Brian and Mavaka and me,
Okay.
and then like It's Me or something. I know It's Me is a pretty good age. Like we have our brains together. We know what's going on, right?
Sure.
And, but then when it comes to like the 20-year-olds, it's like they don't know what the hell's going on. But when it comes to women in their 20s, they seem to get it all together. So why is that? I don't understand that.
Are you saying the women in your generation don't have it together? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying.
Let Mavaka, hold up. Vi.
One second.
Let Mavaka speak.
Vi, are you saying that 20-year-old women have it together more than a 40-year-old woman does?
No. I'm saying when it comes to 40 and up, everybody seems to get it together, right? Most people. When it comes to 20-year-olds, it seems like the women has it more together than the men.
No way.
I'm confused. I do not understand. Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm talking about the age.
No, I don't understand that vibe.
Vi, so you like to go to TikTok. Go on TikTok and tell me where a 20-year-old mature woman is. There's no such thing. They're all flaunting around, dancing up and down like monkeys.
I'm not saying every.
I'm a 20-year-old.
Well, hopefully you're not on TikTok jumping around like a monkey.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok either.
Okay, well, you're one of the few.
So that's a different classification. But like the people I've been talking to, like they're 22, 23, and a lot of them is from China, right? And Japan and Asia and all that.
Sure.
And they seem to be really educated, the women. Right? So I don't know about America because I've been living in Japan for a long time. And when it comes to men, it's like in their 20s now. I'm talking about 20s, right?
Okay.
That's like a lot of men in their 20s. They don't have it together. They don't know what they want to do. But then if you ask women, right, they're all going to college and they want to, they already have fun. But then when it comes to our age group, like 40s and up, they kind of like have their common sense together and everything. Like,
I'll say one sentence. Okay, I'll say one sentence.
But isn't that the whole point?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Because like in the past, so if you look in the past, like everybody was just having fun and enjoying life and everything. Today, it's like more serious.
Yeah, but Vi, what you're saying, what you just said was 40-year-olds and up women got it together, and 20-year-old women got it together. So what woman does not got it together then, according to you?
No, I'm not talking about men. A lot of men. Well, it's not like the whole group, right? It's just case by case.
No, but didn't you say,
one sentence correction. You're conflating. So again, this is if you make personal observations, you are more likely to come to possibly false conclusions. So you're conflating the fact that yes, on average in 2026, and this is me as a bachelor student, women for the first time in literally ever history are on average earning more bachelors than men, and that's just a changed statistic. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that men don't have it together, right? And there are tons of men that are going to college, but for the first time, the scale has basically just tipped by the tiniest percentage. But you can't say that just because women are going to college that they have it more together. Men that don't go, we don't know what we're doing.
Again, Mickey.
Yeah.
Why do you feel, you say women. Why do you feel that women are a hive mind? I know you live in Colorado and you're very liberal out there. But why do you feel, except for the fact that you have expressed your different opinions about how they're not, but why do you feel that you are the exact same as every other woman? Why do women think that they are a hive mind?
I don't. don't think I'm a hive mind, though. That's what I said. I don't think we can come to conclusions that all women and all men are thinking these same ideas, because that's our personal observations. But I mean, I've already proven at multiple points that I don't consider myself a part of this quote hive mind. I don't think the way that you're putting in the category of a liberal, I actually consider myself not liberal. I consider myself more independent. So.
Well, I was just asking a question. I was just asking a question.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not saying all, but then I've been noticing, okay, especially in Asia, there's more women. They already know what they want to do in their 20s. Like they have an idea what to do, go to college or go to school and everything, right? And then if you ask a lot of men, okay, now this is observation. This is not statistics and everything. And I talk to a lot of people online and everything. And a lot of boys, when you ask them in their 20s, they still haven't figured out what they want to do.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't conflate. The fact is as a person in my 20s, we can seem like we have it all together, but we don't all know what's going on. I wouldn't say that conflating the idea of a woman saying, oh, I'm going to college, or a man saying, I'm not sure what I want to do, that means that men don't know what they're doing or that women know what they're doing.
Right.
At the end of the day, none of us fully know what we're doing. We're just trying to learn how to get into the workforce.
Vi, are there more doctors in China that are male or female?
I guess that because I'm 41 years old, I am already in the workforce, and I know what I want to do. So I'm not faulting anybody here that is younger than me. What I'm just saying is that you may want to think about what you want to do and stop arguing about men and women and children and boys and blah, blah, blah. There's no difference. There is no difference between a man and a woman. You all have your roles. We have our roles, and that is what we must do. But a lot of women want to break out of those roles and say, oh, no, I don't want to be a housewife. I don't want to do this and that. I don't want to be told what to do. And I just want to be independent. No, you all require strict. What is it that I want to say? You all. Well, no, okay. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Okay, Brian, right? Let me put my comment in that. So, I talk to people from Saudi Arabia, right? And a lot of the girls. If you look at Saudi Arabia, before, I think the last time I talked to them, they told me their education, after 16, they cannot get educated or something. I forgot what country is that. I don't know if it's Saudi Arabia. But then, if you look at Saudi girls today, they're all going to college and they're being doctors and attorneys and all this stuff. If you look 50 years ago, they're not allowed to do that. 60, 70 years ago. I don't know how far back. But then today, a lot of them are starting to become independent, right? And I have no problem with a girl being independent and not want to be a housewife. I have no problem with that. But what I have a problem is when you have a gender who thinks they're better than the other gender.
Yes.
So to me, a man and a woman is still a human being.
Yeah, but one might have more skills than the other. It depends on what field you're talking about.
Yeah, so it depends what field you're talking about, right? Like some people have better skills.
But here the whole problem is that women think that they are better than men, that they think that they are superior to men, and that's where the
mistake comes. Yeah, see, that's where the mistake comes, because when you think about it, right, we're born and raised in a type of society all over the world thinking that men are better than women, or women are this and that. A man has a brain, a woman has a brain. A man has 2 arms, 2 legs. A woman has 2 arms, 2 legs. A woman can learn just as much as a man. A man can learn just as much as a man. So
Of course.
some,
That's
some
my
people
whole
are,
point.
some people
That
are
is my whole
educated.
point.
Yes. So some people are
I
educated.
do not think that I am better than a woman. However, you know, it's generally context, in general context, women,
Yeah, exactly.
your quote
So like,
unquote hive mind, think that they are better than women. And
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm
so
sorry.
sorry, so I'm almost finished.
Women
So
think that they are better than men because simply that they have a fucking hole that every man
wait, Brian.
after.
Okay,
It's
so
true.
you talk. Okay,
It's
now you're talking
true.
about. Okay, wait, Brian. You talk about the body. I'm not talking about the body functions, right? I'm just talking about the reality of just a man and a woman. Like a woman can learn can have just as much skills as a man. A man can have just as much
Yes.
skills as a woman, right?
Yes, correct.
Now, if you're talking about sex, that's a whole different story, right? But then, reality-wise, go back to the bar thing, like Mickey talked about.
No, but again, Vi, you cannot say that a woman has as many skills as a man because it depends on what
Yeah.
skills you're talking about.
Okay,
if
so
you're talking about like
most.
sports,
Okay, so
there is no way a woman could be as athletic as a
so in
man.
that case,
Let
so
Mavaka God
wait,
talk. Sorry,
Mav-
Dean. Sorry. Stop interrupting.
You can't
Mavaka
keep saying
God
that the women
talk.
have the same amount of skills as a man. It depends on what field you're talking about. Just like a woman might have better skills than a man in some certain fields too. You can't say we're both equal because we're not. Our body and our physicality is totally different.
Okay, so when it comes to like what Mavaka said, I agree. When it comes to sports and certain things, right? Then yeah, we're not the same, right? Because most women, we cannot be as strong as a man, right? That's reality. Unless you push yourself and you become like a woman bodybuilder, then you probably can do it, right? But that's very rare. You don't see women bodybuilder playing sports. So it depends what field, right? So I actually agree with Mabaka, right, in that place. But if you're just talking about regular, like computer skills and business skills, you know, you can't really compare. A woman can learn just as much as a man, right? When you come to physical stuff, yeah, it's different, right?
Look, if I could interject.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
So, Mickey brought up the whole thing about the IQ. Okay, so like with the bell curve. So yeah, generally,
Yes.
so say for example, women tend to be more in the middle, like on average in the bell curve, but men tend to be more on either end of the extremes. So I mean, yeah, right. So that's what I think sort of explains the IQ difference between men and women. Secondly, in terms of what number 6 was saying, like how probably tend to have more of an idea about what they where they want to go as compared to for where younger men do generally out of your experience is I think an explanation is this generally is that for the longest period of time men went out in the workplace, got educated in order to gain resources. To gain resources was in order to find a mate in order to have families. Now that's not the case. A lot of young men do not wish to do those things. They do not wish to have a family and they do not wish to pursue women. So the incentive that's sort of been ingrained with them over a long period of time has been taken away. Well, not taken away, but they're just not interested anymore. They've just given up on it. However, women tend to be a little bit more clear at a younger age. Is that the whole mantra, as you know, I don't need no man, I'm an independent woman. A woman tends to gain resources not in order to find a mate, in order to have a family. That tends to be more towards a man. So I think that tends to give them more of a clearer direction at the start of an earlier stage, that they just want to get it for themselves, which is fine, whatever, I don't really give a shit. So I think that's the other explanation for that. In terms of men and women being equal, I mean, I think we should treat each other with an equal level of respect, but I don't believe we are equal because I believe generally we have different levels of responsibility. And how men and women find mates is not based on equality. Okay, because of that, over a long period of time, well, equality doesn't exist in dating. Okay, equality is only pushed in terms of workplace and society, not in reproduction.
Agreed. Wait, so what's the premise? So this is like we're talking
Oh, hello,
about.
Synapse. Good to see you again.
Hey, how's it going?
pretty good. Sorry, I just
So
want
we're
to say
talking
hi.
about oh yeah. So we're talking about like relations
Yeah,
between the sexes.
I think it will reveal itself in the conversation over the next few minutes, and then in order to give a YouTube summary of like 30 seconds will be a little bit difficult. But if you wait a few minutes, then you'll get the general vibe about which are the conversations going.
Okay.
You know, I gotta kind of agree with Mavaka, right? Women cannot do everything that guys do, right? And guys cannot do everything that men do. But then most of it you probably can. When it comes to like physical stuff, most women cannot, right? And then most men don't want to. Exactly like how it's
Well,
basic.
Yeah, it's just it's anyway. People might believe in equality, but there's no equality in nature.
Yeah, there's
You know,
no equality. Like, let's say if you take a truck driving, right? Somebody who drives the truck across America. Usually men do that, right? So now if you tell a woman, oh, do you want to be a truck driver for the next 20 years? Hell no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but look at even like I was saying about in sports before. You got the NFL, you got these big bulky guys or whatever, and then the women's side of it. The women's side of it, you got the lingerie bowl. So what does that tell you about sports in general between men and women?
So that's another one, right? So if you look at American football, usually it's men, right? Now if you throw a bunch of women in there,
it is men. Not usually.
Yeah, so it's all men, right? So now if you throw women in there, nobody's gonna tackle a woman.
But why do you think?
You see, here's my two-piece, right?
Even in the sporting,
I feel as though like you need both
the,
energies, right? Because women are a magnetic energy, right? And then men are like a electrical energy. Like we get stuff done, right? Like we push society forward, right? In a way, and then women are able to maintain and make sure that it continues, right? What we build. So
No.
I think like both sides are important because like without women you can't really maintain society. And like for example, like as a kid, right, you had a mother and she taught you all the stuff that you believe in pretty much, right? So women are very, very important, right? But men are the ones who like push society forward and like create the society that we live in. It's just that women are very critical to that as well. So.
Okay, so if you were in court and didn't commit a crime, and you had to go in front of a judge, would you be more nervous in front of a female judge, or you'd be exactly the same if it was a man or a woman? It wouldn't matter to you.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot there, bro.
No, I mean that's what you were.
I'm gonna be honest. If I had a female judge, I'd be a little more nervous, just because if I say something wrong, I might get cooked. Yeah. But also, right, I feel as though like a female judge might be more lenient because, I'm very good with like charming, right? So depending on, but like with a man judge, right, he's gonna just like, he doesn't care. He's just gonna be straight and be like, all right, here's your charge, whatever, right? So
go to a divorce court and have a woman judge and tell me how suave you're gonna be.
Can I give you an example?
You just say yes, ma'am, and like,
let me give you a fast comment, and then Brian, you can go. So let me debunk on your pushing society forward.
Yeah.
Maybe in the old days, 100 years ago, it was like that. Today, you cannot really say it's men who's pushing society forward because women can make it better, or women can make it worse. It all depends.
But think about this, right? Like most of the inventions we have, right? Like the iPhone.
Oh, that's okay.
AI,
so that's all in the past.
Robotics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's all in the past.
Yeah,
Today,
but if women can make things better, how come there's never been a female president in the United States?
Because men are afraid of female.
Like here's my thing about. Actually, I have a good opinion on that, right? You see, with certain countries, like the reason why the UK had a female prime minister, but the US hasn't, is because if you look at our geography, we're a land empire, right? That means we're very aggressive. We even fought Cuba, and we fought like so many countries, Russia, whatever. We fought Mexico. We fought, like we're in constant wars.
Okay.
We're warlike people as Americans, right? So, and women aren't warlike, so you can't have like female president preside over the entire country, right?
Well,
But
wasn't
let's say
Margaret
something
Thatcher
like the
around when
UK,
the
right?
Falkland Islands was
The
going
UK
on?
is an island. It can afford to like avoid war. Same with New Zealand.
What about the Falkland Islands?
Thailand, like it's very peaceful. So very peaceful,
What about the
organized
Falkland
countries.
Islands when Thatcher was in charge?
But I think that was more so her trying to show her strength because like the British Empire was falling apart. So like what I'm saying is like she was trying to maintain the British Empire, right? She wasn't trying to like expand it.
You know, women can be just as evil as men. It has nothing.
Oh yeah. I'm not refuting that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
if
they're more evil. They're more evil.
I think if you put a woman as a president, what's going to happen? This is my guess, right? So I could be wrong. It's just a guess. If you make a woman a president of the United States, all the women are going to support the women, and the men is going to be shit.
No,
Women,
dude.
So
women,
can I
like even if you
say
look
something?
at like female. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
let me say not all, but okay. Go ahead, Mickey. I would say most.
Wait, no, hold up. I want to ask something. Right now. Why is it that what was I going to ask? I don't even remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I feel that. So again, so it's interesting to listen to all the different sides, right? I think the problem is again where a lot of the conversation is everyone's being put into a box as a whole, right? Like,
Sure.
you know, I think for us to assume, like, okay, as a short addressing to Synapse, if we statistically look at why overall women maybe haven't, built as much, it wasn't really until the 1900s that women were really able to go to a university, right? Just statistically speaking.
Yeah. Okay,
there's
I have
no,
to go back.
there's no IQ differences or capability differences in men and women, and in science, just as something I've heard in classes, and this isn't me trying to be liberal or trying to be like, talking like, gotta include women, but there were definitely a lot of women scientists who, and some of it's not that the men were necessarily all, misogynistic, but in a lot of cases, women just weren't taken as seriously, and so men would publish the work in order for people to take their research seriously. So that doesn't mean that women weren't necessarily even contributing.
Oh
either,
yeah, like
right?
what I mean is like
Yeah, but
both
Brian,
are
say it
very
before you
much
forget.
equally intelligent, right? Or some women can
Here's
sometimes
my
be even more
question.
intelligent, right?
Let me
But
ask
what I
my
mean
question.
is when I mean like pushing society forward is that like for example, I remember I did biochemistry in college, right? And there was a lady who discovered DNA, right? But
Yes.
A man took her stuff and then went
Yeah,
ahead
I'm in
and, like, got the
neuroscience.
most-
That was kind of the
But
yeah.
But that goes to my point, right? Where
That's
women
such a
aren't
fucking lie.
going to like.
That is such
I don't
a
believe
lie.
that. I don't believe.
Yeah, no, she did.
Still
But you see, the
such
thing
a
is,
lie.
like, it's down to socialization, right? It's not intelligence; it's socialization, right? Like, because she was a woman in the 1950s, she couldn't really do anything. Also, she didn't feel like she could do anything to, like, get her like recognition, right?
But it's
While these
not
guys
the
felt like, all right, we need to
1950s
take
now.
this
It's
idea and move forward with it, right?
2026.
Yeah.
Correct,
It is
which is
not
why
the
they're going back.
Let me ask a question.
Sorry, guys. Let
Can
Brian
I-
ask a question because he's gonna forget his question. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, because I will forget my question, and I'm about to close this.
Oh yeah, go
one.
ahead, Brian.
My question is, why do women bitch about the life that they live or the world that they live in, where they can drive cars that was built by a man? Your cell phone was created and built by a man. Your Instagram and all the things that you can post on social media was built by men. Yet you sit there and bitch about men. constant.
But I think that's like all people, right? Because you can see like online
it's
a lot
not
of
all people. No. It's women.
You
That's
sure?
men ain't
So
shit.
to be honest,
Men ain't nothing.
Oh, it's
ain't
men
nothing.
as well.
They
Left
live
leaning,
hold
liberal
up.
men as
Well,
well.
hold up.
It's just like a common
They
frustration in society, like on both sides. To be honest, like
They
Okay,
I
say
don't
that.
really think it's
Say
just
that.
a woman thing.
Wait,
Maybe
wait,
that's
wait,
what you're
wait.
seeing
I
online.
think
Yeah.
a lot of
They
right-leaning, masculine guys don't
in
complain
a
much.
world that was built by men. That the cell phone towers that they can go on and online and bitch about men, and they drive their cars across
Brian,
bridges and roads. Hold
yes.
But
we
Brian,
get the
what's your point
bro.
though?
We get the point.
My point is that women live in a world where it is built by men and then say, "Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, yeah, no, I want to complain because I just want to complain."
Yeah,
Brian,
dude,
I
everybody's
think-
complaining. Like the economy is
If
so
I put it
bad
lower, I
right now.
can't record
I
it.
think
I
I
can't
think
hear
my
it.
biggest because I agree
I
with you
put
on
it
a lot
lower.
of points. I think my biggest conflict with you, I think, is again it's putting people in boxes, right? You're assuming that all women are unhappy. You're listening too much to the one side of, the loud side screaming. Just like, I could just as easily fall into the hole of thinking that all men are sexist if I was to listen to the incel community. Yeah, if I was to listen to the incel community, I would think that men are horrible people who see women as objects and hate us. But I don't let myself go down that mindset because factually speaking,
Exactly.
men are not my enemies and women are also not my enemies. I can't on average just assume that, oh, this person is this gender, therefore they're going to be this way. None of us decided what gender we were born as at birth, but me being born as a female doesn't assume that I hate men, and I would hope that, men being born as men doesn't mean that they hate women. If you listen to these extremes, which is basically an echo chamber, as we call it in the science field, if you fall into that echo chamber, you're going to see enemies where there's not necessarily enemies, right?
I have a counterpoint. I think what Brian is saying is important because actually one side tends to be louder than the other side in the West.
Sure.
Even today, I was in a voice room. I made, I guess, an edgy comment that I don't think it's a good idea for women to be in positions of power. And then you had two left-leaning guys, self-described progressive leftists, calling me an incel when I'm in a very happy relationship and we plan on having kids soon. So there's one side that as soon as you give a counterexample, they call you incel. They try to shoot you down by saying you're racist, you're misogynistic, you're incel. And Mickey, yesterday I was even like against actual white supremacists, right? And people, people agree with me, but then as soon as I have a counterpoint to their world belief, I'm a racist, I'm an incel. It's just very inconsistent, very emotional.
Sure.
Okay, guys, I have a question for you guys, okay? So I kind of take Brian's point, right? I kind of agree with Brian. And then after this,
You can agree or cannot.
Yes.
Cannot.
Because motherfucker, you can go to sleep because I want to hear your comment right after this. So now, if you're on the battlefield, okay, this is kind of a weird question, right? But if you're on the battlefield and you have a machine gun, right? Mm-hmm. And you face a woman, a beautiful woman with a machine gun, and then you face a man, a real good-looking man with a machine gun. When and that's your enemy, okay? Now, if you face the woman, would you just automatically shoot the woman, or would you think twice?
Well, that's a weird situation. I mean, if it's an enemy, it's an enemy. I would hope that.
The question,
what?
Hold on.
I'm not finished with the question.
That question is irrelevant because
wait.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
think
dude, if I'm in war and it's a life and death situation, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, you shouldn't look at a woman and be like, "Oh, she's beautiful. I'm not gonna shoot her."
Or she's coming at you straight at the chest.
Like, dude, if I'm in Iraq and there's a woman in
I'm not
hijabs,
finished with the question, guys.
I think she has
If you're in Iraq and
a suicide vest. I'm unloading my man.
Let me finish.
Classic fucking right.
Okay, so now when it goes to the woman, right? Would you? Okay, let me finish the question now. You see a woman.
Yeah.
Would you think twice before shooting? Okay, now that's the woman now. Now when it comes to the men, would you automatically shoot the man because that's your enemy without thinking?
I
Or
mean,
would you
dude, the
think
most
twice?
I'll do
Why?
in a life and death situation is compliment them on their looks and then, put 2 in the chest. Like, I'm not trying to die.
Okay, so would
Yeah.
you treat two different? Like, if it's a woman and a man, would you treat them different, basically?
No.
That's what I mean.
No.
I mean, dude, in a life and death situation, no. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta take
not.
motion.
That's just not how war works. You're not, and most likely than not, you probably wouldn't be able to see the person's face, right? It's not like you're just going to be standing 2 inches in front of them. You'd probably have shot them, farther back. I'd hope,
like,
unless
you
you
see them-
suck at
okay,
shooting.
you see
Like,
them-
Oh, the
But
question should
okay,
be,
so
do you
let
treat
me
men and
ask
women
you
differently?
a question.
I don't think
Let
I
me
just don't really
ask
see
you
its
a
relevance,
question,
TVH.
Nikki.
I don't think you should.
You
treat
have
them
never gone to war, right? You have never been on the battlefield,
differently.
right?
I mean, none of us
Except for
have,
the
though.
women.
Yeah,
right?
none of us. But what
Yo,
I'm
I
saying-
have
Hold
every
up.
night.
I am
when I
asking
come back to my
Miss
women every night,
Nikki
it's
a
battlefield.
question.
Okay.
You have never been on a battlefield except for the women that want to treat you so catty at work and want to become your enemy. My point
But
is,
you see, the thing is, most of the
How
women who
can
act
you
like that aren't
compare?
like young,
Wait,
good-looking
let,
women.
let me
Usually
let
they're
me
like
hear him
middle-aged
finish what
women,
he's
like
saying.
Karens.
What's he saying at the end?
Are you referring to, like,
No,
Karens and
guess
stuff?
not. Oh no, I guess I
Let him
can't
finish.
complete a sentence, but I'm about to close this voice room because everybody else wants to talk over everybody else. Just one person talk one at a time. One at a time.
All right, bet. Well, what's your point, though?
My point is that women have never gone to war. Women have never fought in World War II, in World War I, and Vietnam. Women have never done that. They have stayed back and been the raisers of children or whatever, because that is their role.
But, like, do you want women to fight in wars? Like,
No,
I don't really think that's,
No.
like, something...
wait,
I think
hold
he
up
doesn't
one
want women
second.
to vote.
Which, you don't want women to
Oh
vote?
no, of course not. Of course not.
No, that's
dude,
not
I
what
don't
he's
know
saying.
about that.
Have the right to vote.
That's
no,
a little...
all right, here we go. All right,
Bro.
all right. I'm closing this
Repeal the
room
19th
because,
Amendment, right?
Yeah, no.
Guys, wait, stop.